we go in the ALCS.
It's a grind from the first pitch on.
And it's in the left field. That is way back. It's a home run.
It doesn't matter who gets it done, just get the job done.
This is what they do. Down by the pesky pole, and it is gone. Well, the Astros are rolling now. Major League Baseball's postseason continues tonight from Fenway Park in Boston. Check in with the Splendid Splinter on your way in, the Ted Williams statue. It is October baseball once again here in New England. A packed house making their way into Fenway. These passionate fans hopeful that the home team can even up this series at one apiece. We welcome you to the 2018 American League Championship Series. It's presented by the Google Assistant, an easier way to get things done with just your voice. The Astros winning on the road here at Fenway last night. They're up 1-0 in this best-of-7 series. Astros, Red Sox, ALCS. And hi, everybody. With that, we welcome you from Fenway Park. Great to have you with us on a beautiful night for baseball, crisp and cool on a Sunday evening. Brian Anderson with Ron Darling. We'll check in with Lauren Shahade in just a moment. Well, 4 games in the postseason does not a postseason make for the Houston Astros. But my question to you, Ron, is this Astros ball club, as well as they have played this year, the defending world champions, is this an historically good team we're looking at right now?
I think it could be. When you look at what they did, ran roughshod over the Cleveland Indians. They're very confident right now. You can see what they've done on offense so far in the postseason. And more importantly, in last night's game with those 2 home runs in the 9th inning to put that game away, they now have hit a home run in 13 consecutive postseason games. That's amazing.
Well, the Astros will have Gerrit Cole. He's not a number 2. He's a 1A, let's call him, behind Justin Verlander. David Price will get the start for the Boston Red Sox. And so if you're the Red Sox tonight, Alex Cora, how does he flip the script on the Astros where everything's going right for them?
Well, I think there's 2 things that got to happen. I think that Mookie Betts and J.D. Martinez, MVP candidates, have to match the offensive thunder of the Astros. And second, and most important, and the biggest story of this game, David Price is looking for his first win in the postseason as a starting pitcher. The Red Sox need it to happen tonight.
Good numbers against the Houston Astros, as you see there. The David Price saga is a big one. It is the headliner, and Alex Cora has doubled down on his big left-hander. And for more on the story, we check in with the 3rd member of our team, Lauren Shahade. Good evening, Lauren.
Good evening, BA. Alex Cora told me yesterday if he could do it all over again, he wouldn't have even released the Game 2 starter until the day before, just to avoid all the questions of, are you sure, with David Price, to which he says 100%. He said how soon we forget how dominant he was in the second half down the stretch. 6-1, a 2.25 ERA. David Price, gentlemen, about as accountable as it comes. He said, I get it. I understand nothing matters about the regular season, and all people care about is my numbers in the postseason. I completely understand it. He was also asked which Houston bats he needs to pay attention to the most. He said, without hesitation, Alex Bregman. Then he said, well, George Springer sets the tone. There's Altuve and Correa, and I think that's the general consensus with these pitchers against this Houston lineup. It's not just 1 through 5 you got to worry about. There's no sure out in this lineup, gentlemen. They just keep coming at you.
Thank you, Lauren. It is an impressive lineup, and this is a lineup with extreme confidence and swagger right now. The Red Sox are going to try to disrupt that here tonight. Let's take a look at that batting order turned in by A.J. Hinch, George Springer, Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman at the top. In the middle goes Yuli Gurriel, hit the 3-run homer last night. Tyler White is the designated hitter. Marwin Gonzalez bats 6th. Bottom 3, Carlos Correa, Martin Maldonado, and Josh Reddick. Same lineup that Hinch put out there last night. Why wouldn't he for Game 2 in a matchup with left-hander David Price?
You know, the best way to knock off a little confidence against the team you're facing is with your starting pitcher. Price, if you include the postseason, his last 13 games against Houston, he's 5-2. His ERA is 2.25. So this is the best moment in time for him in the postseason to have a successful start.
Well, he had a great run in the middle of the summer. For about 2.5 months, he was outstanding for the Boston Red Sox. Let's check the defense behind the Red Sox, or behind Price here tonight, Ronnie, and some changes defensively for Alex Cora.
Yeah, you got the same Gold Glove in right field with Betts, the best outfield maybe in the game defensively, but Rafael Devers is in at third base, and Ian Kinsler, Gold Glove in 2016, is in at second base. Steve Pearce still getting the starts every game because of the injury to Mitch Moreland.
Might see Mitch Moreland in a pinch hit role, as we did last night. He drew a bases loaded walk. Alex Cora was ejected last night between the 5th and the 6th inning. Just his second ejection all year. Of course, it is his first ejection in a postseason, and he felt a little embarrassed by the situation. Said he pushed it too far, and James Hoyt threw him out. He promises that will not happen again tonight. So George Springer making his way to the plate. Umpiring crew is in place. Vic Carapazza will call the balls and strikes here tonight. 39-year-old umpire working his first league championship series. And a great scene here at Fenway Park, starting an hour earlier than we did last night. Some folks still filing into the ballpark as we get ready for game 2. David Price against George Springer. And that modified windup by Price. First pitch is up and away we go. Game 2 of the American League Championship Series.
I mean, it's the same for every pitcher. At some point, you want to have great command in the first inning, but even more important for David Price, who got off to that rocky start against the Yankees in Game 2.
There's a strike, barked out by Vic Carapazza. Joe West is the crew chief. He's out at first base tonight. If there is need for a challenge or a replay, he'll be the one to administer that. Mark Carlson, Chris Guccione, Mark Wagner, and James Hoy, the 6-man umpiring crew. The 7th umpire, Bill Miller, is in the replay center. There's a pop-up. Third pitch of the game for Price. Springer sends one in the air to Pearce, and that's how the night begins.
You know, when you saw Price in his start against the Yankees, see him kind of getting his shoulders back. He could never really get comfortable. They say the mechanical changes they've been trying to help him with is to stand taller, have better posture, have a better spine angle, and have a better tilt on his breaking ball. They really felt like he never got comfortable in that first start.
I found that very interesting from Alex Cora today, and Dana Levangie, the Red Sox pitching coach, that this is not just a rah-rah sports psychology moment for Alex Cora and David Price. They actually felt like there were some mechanical hitches, as you pointed out, maybe to the naked eye, or for somebody like me, you might not see that, but you noticed he's trying to be a little more upright, which puts everything in its place. If you're a golfer and you know about spine angle, that all would make sense to you. And so they're hoping a little bit of a mechanical change will do Price some good, as he gets a swing and a miss on Jose Altuve, and it's a ball and a strike on the former MVP.
Every pitcher wants to start the game out in the postseason with a scoreless first. I think it's more important for Price than just about anybody in the postseason in quite some time.
1 ball, 1 strike. And a swing and a foul back out of play. We had a good look today at David Price and his warm-ups and the process he was going through. Everything looked normal. He looked calm. What do you see in his motion early?
It's about as simple a motion you'll ever get. He starts right really from the side, almost like he's not in the windup, that he's from the stretch. So trying to simplify things is David tonight.
Crowd's behind him early. They know this is an important start for Price. He was praising Red Sox fans. He's drawn the ire of them, but praising them before his start here tonight, and that's what you have to do, right? I mean, he knows the numbers. Everybody puts those numbers in his face. He can quiet all of that doubt with a good start here this evening.
Well, the fans are undefeated with their opinions, so you can never take them on. You just have to have that moment, and he's had it in relief in the postseason. He's just not had it as a starting pitcher.
See, the shift is on for Altuve. 1 away. We're just underway. Springer with a pop-up. And now Price deals, and it's inside. 2-2 the count.
That's nice to see. He's going to stand up the hitters once in a while. This Houston lineup, don't let them get too comfortable reaching out over the plate. Come in, get them off the plate, move their feet, and then you can go back away.
Red Sox pitching hit 3 batters yesterday with the Astros. There were 14 base runners in yesterday's game for Houston, reaching base without benefit of a hit. So you had the 10 walks. There was an error. There were 3 hit batters. Boston, the first team in postseason history with 10 walks and 3 hit batters in a game. They set a major league record last night. Alex Cora wasn't around for half of it, but it was a dreadful performance in the command category for Red Sox pitching. Altuve working the count tough and draws the walk. It's a 1-out walk. Price will have a man on for Alex Bregman.
One thing you have to learn if you're a Boston pitcher in this series, this Houston Astros team from last night is not afraid to take the walk, to keep the line moving. You're going to have to be aggressive in the strike zone. You have no other option.
Dana Levangie keeping close watch on David Price. And so with 1 away, an Altuve walk, and here is Alex Bregman, who was on base 5 times yesterday. He was 0 for 1 at the plate, but he walked 3 times. Reached on a fielder's choice and was hit by a pitch as he takes a strike right down the middle. Bregman's having a monster postseason once again. This guy has been such a great player for the Astros this year. He was outstanding in the postseason last year. Just now putting an anchor in as one of the game's elite young talents. He played a terrific third base last night as well. Able to check his swing. And 1 ball and 1 strike on Bregman.
See the side swing. This is what Joe West sees at first base. Good call by Joe. Did not go.
Bregman had 5 hits in the Cleveland series, a 3-game sweep by the Astros of the Indians. Had a couple of home runs. He homered in the first 2 games of that series at Minute Maid Park. So when you say Bregman has a swing built for Minute Maid Park, that also applies to Fenway Park.
That's right.
Because of that short porch in left field. He stands right on top of the plate, and he is trying to hook everything he can off that monster in left.
Almost dares you to come in with the fastball. You see how close he is to the plate, as you said, Brian. His power comes up in the strike zone, especially up and in.
2 balls and a strike. Altuve at first, and Bregman right on it, but fouls it back. The 2 little guys in this Astros lineup, Altuve and Bregman, and they pack some kind of punch. And the high pitches is what Bregman trying to exploit. Has 19 of his 31 home runs in the upper half of the strike zone. He is not afraid. In the launch angle revolution, he's at the forefront. 2-2 the count. Price deals and misses inside. 3-2. Back-to-back 3-2 counts with Yuli Gurriel waiting on deck.
I think with the 3-2 count, Altuve with speed, despite the hurt leg from this year, I think you still go here. Yesterday we saw A.J. Hinch be very aggressive with his lineup on the bases.
Red Sox look for a double play to try to turn 2 to get out of this first inning. And Bregman able to lay off, and it's back-to-back walks. 10 walks yesterday, 2 more already. First 3 hitters. Gurriel comes to the plate. He hit a 3-run homer, sliced it around the pesky pole. That was the knockout punch in yesterday's game. The Astros added on a 4-run 9th inning, and Gurriel had the big hit in that one. That was a 3-2 game going into the 9th inning.
Yeah, Reddick hit a home run, and that 3-run home run came on the first pitch, that high fastball.
Gurriel is at the plate with a lot of runners on base typically with this Astros lineup, and he has delivered with runners on base, especially in scoring position. He's hitting .396 with runners in scoring position in the postseason. That's a strike, a called strike, and it's 0-1 to Gurriel.
Price hasn't had that much issue getting ahead of the hitters. That was a little backdoor cutter that led off Gurriel.
Back-to-back walks. Both Altuve and Bregman taking the count full. Got very quiet, very fast here at Fenway Park. And a swing and a miss. That'll get him riled up again. No balls, 2 strikes.
These fans want to see a strikeout. They want to see dominance from their 16-game winner this year.
Here comes an 0-2 and a cold strike 3. Out number 2 on a backwards K from David Price.
Well, he's been trying to find that inside corner. Just missed a couple of times on Bregman, and finally makes the pitch that catches the plate. Another little cutter inside that stays true for David Price.
2 gone, 2 on. And the designated hitter Tyler White coming up. White was in that DH role last night with the 2 left-hander starters on the mound in the first 2 games. He gets the call for the first 2. There's a strike, and he's found that inside corner in back-to-back pitches now.
We asked Alex Cora before the game, what did he want to see in the first inning that would make him happy about Price? Command of the fastball, command of the strike zone. So some good and bad here. Good pitches of late, but 2 walks also.
Now, based on his outing against the Yankees, you know the leash is going to be short. It has to be. The Red Sox are trying to get even in the series before this series goes to Houston. There is some history they are staring at. No team that lost games 1 and 2 at home in the LCS, the League Championship Series, no team has come back to win that series. It is of utmost importance to protect your home field, and to get this one even going back to Houston would go a long way to turning this into a terrific series, which we all think it'll be. That's the note, and that's the history that the Red Sox are staring at right now. No balls, 2 strikes. Now it's time for the Boston Red Sox at the plate. Alex Cora turns in this lineup. Mookie Betts, Andrew Benintendi, J.D. Martinez, the DH, Xander Bogaerts, Steve Pearce, Rafael Devers in the middle. Devers gets his first start of the LCS, as does Ian Kinsler. Jackie Bradley Jr. hits 8. Christian Vasquez will be behind the plate. So Devers, Kinsler, Vasquez all starts number 1, and the high-octane pitching of Gerrit Cole on display here in Game 2. What a performance in the division series.
We've spent so much time on David Price because he was the story. The reason we haven't spent as much time on Gerrit Cole, because there is no story. He's just been excellent since he put on a Houston uniform. 276 strikeouts this year, 15 wins. In that game against the Indians, he went 7 innings, only the Lindor home run with no walks and 12 strikeouts.
Gets ahead of Mookie Betts to start this bottom of the first inning. David Price puts up a 0 in the top half. One thing about Gerrit Cole here, this is just his 3rd start at Fenway Park. He had a start against him in September. His other start came as a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates, which was opening day last season. That did not go well. So the little bit of unfamiliarity with this mound at Fenway.
So very interesting. Last night we saw James Hoy with a little bigger strike zone for the pitchers. Vic Carapazza looks like it's a little smaller strike zone. Should benefit the hitters.
Mookie Betts, the batting champion in the American League, and that one's outside, and it's 3 balls and a strike. We saw Betts very aggressive yesterday. That was by design from his manager, knowing Verlander is a strike throwing machine. This is more Betts like here. He does take pitches, can see a lot, and that one's ripped. Whoa, way back center field. Springer looks up, and it's off the wall. Betts is flying around the bases, and he will stop at second. Took a big turn, but he's in with a leadoff double. Just a towering fly ball that bangs high off the wall in center field.
Well, Cole got behind in the count. He had to come in with a fastball, and Mookie was all over it. Long drive halfway up the center field wall, played nicely by George Springer to hold him to a double, because he had ideas of maybe taking 3.
Second extra base hit of the postseason for Betts. Had a double against the Yankees in the division series here at Fenway, and now he is aboard with a 2-bagger with Andrew Benintendi coming up. Scoring chance right away for Boston, and a swing and a liner into right field. A base hit. In to score is Betts. Reddick cuts it off and will hold Benintendi to a single. It's an RBI, and the Red Sox have the lead 1-0 in the first inning.
Well, 5 pitches in, Red Sox show that no back down. Double by Betts, and on the first pitch, Benintendi rips it between the right fielder and the center fielder. Reddick with a nice play to hold him to a single.
Red Sox dugout up on the rail. Into it from the start. Now J.D. Martinez with Benintendi at first base. That base hit by Benintendi snaps a run for the Boston hitters. They were 0 for their last 17 with men on base. So a single and an RBI. 1-0 Red Sox with Martinez, the leading run producer in the American League this year. And he slaps one right into the glove of Altuve. Pops out of his hand on the exchange. Out is recorded. And back to first goes Benintendi. A little soft liner by Martinez for the first out.
Altuve was trying to make the exchange really quickly to maybe have a chance of Benintendi at first base. That's why after the catch and the transfer that he loses the baseball. Martinez with a bullet. That's all he can do.
And so 1 away for Xander Bogaerts. Has 2 RBIs here in the postseason. Had a home run to center field against the Yankees here at Fenway Park in the division series. Benintendi with good wheels at first. Gerrit Cole, unlike Justin Verlander, is a pitcher you can run on. I say pitcher because Maldonado is one of the best throwers of all the catchers in Major League Baseball. He's about as good as it gets. If you're going to steal a base, it's going to be on the pitcher, and Cole has had his trouble. Last 3 seasons, he has allowed 49 stolen bases and only 9 caught. Very high success rate when you do run on Gerrit Cole. He allowed 14 bags this season. Benintendi with good wheels, has a big lead over there, stays put, and a little tapper back to the mound. Cole looked at second, will fire to first. Bad throw, gets away. Gurriel runs it down, actually goes into the camera well. 1 base from the mound is the rule. So second and third for the Red Sox. Gerrit Cole, just his 3rd career start at Fenway Park. Rattled early here.
Yeah, it looked like a nervous throw. How many times do we see this? Guys who can throw 95 to 100 miles an hour but have trouble throwing to the bases. That's not even close to Gurriel. And now he's put himself in big trouble. Looked to second first, didn't have a play there. And then kind of didn't fire it over there. Threw it half speed. That's why he lost the control of the play.
Second and third for Steve Pearce. This is inside. 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Cole. That had a little anger on it. A couple of RBIs for Pearce. Those were RBI singles against the Yankees in the division series. Pearce had a hit last night, was 1 for 4. Saw the infield halfway in. They're trying to cut off a potential big inning here for Boston.
They're a little shallower than halfway, and if you watch them on the pitch, they're moving with the pitch in a couple of steps. So they're starting there, but they're being aggressive and coming in.
Good smother back there by Maldonado, but Cole misses again, and it's 3 balls and no strikes on Steve Pearce. Now the Red Sox, runner third, less than 2 in the division series, had great success. 8 of 11, 73% success rate.
Veteran hitter is more apt to swing 3-0.
Maldonado wants to go through the signs again. The 3-0. They are loaded. Brent Strom, the pitching coach, will make a first inning visit.
You know, when you warm up in the bullpen and you do everything that you've been doing all season long to get ready to go on the mound, the difference in the postseason is that it seems like the first inning can be a warp speed sometimes. Everything just goes so quickly. You can go from throwing your first pitch, and the next thing you know, you got to run in, the bases loaded. Seems like it happens in a nanosecond.
Early visit to the mound by the Astros pitching coach. Hey, a reminder, you can follow every postseason moment with At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. It's the only place to get it all. Live radio feeds, video highlights, pitch tracking, StatCast, and much more. Download MLB At Bat today. They're riled up early at Fenway Park. And Rafael Devers will step in for his first at bat. He's been splitting time with Eduardo Nunez at third base. Yesterday, Alex Cora said he likes Nunez because he hits high velocity fastballs, but defensively he has struggled. So it is Devers who gets a call today. It's not that Devers can't hit high velocity, they just prefer Nunez. But that went out the window after last night. There was a play at third base that led to a couple of runs. Nunez couldn't make the pick, and George Springer had 2 RBIs to get the Astros on the board early.
Woo! Right at the top of the strike zone.
One of the great trades in the offseason. The Astros acquiring Gerrit Cole for 4 players in a deal with the Pirates. Jeff Luhnow really pulled off a special trade with that one. Cole had just had that look about him in Pittsburgh that he was a budding ace, and he has been just that with the Astros. Down and in, and it's a ball at 2 strikes.
Well, it was a great job by Jeff Luhnow and his staff, because there are many teams in baseball that wanted to acquire Gerrit Cole, and he put together the right package for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Joe Musgrove and Colin Moran were the 2 big league pieces there. There's a 1-2, and that's inside. 2-2 to Devers.
So he's got a call from Carapazza up in the strike zone, but the ball just inside off the plate, on that side of the plate, he is not called yet.
One thing you'll notice about Martin Maldonado, a Gold Glove catcher from a year ago, he frames it well. Here's a 2-2. Devers into left field, a base hit. Benintendi scores the run. Boston adds to it, 2-0. And Devers gets the call over Nunez and delivers for his manager right away.
Well, there was a game against the Yankees when Alex Cora made the move of Rafael Devers and Brock Holt, and it paid dividends. Well, Devers has paid dividends right away here in the first inning. In today's game, if a left-hander hits any ball on the left side, it's usually a base hit.
Defying the shift, Devers. 2-0 Boston in the first. Still 1 out. Still bases loaded. And the 7th batter of the inning, Ian Kinsler, and he takes a strike. Kinsler not in the starting lineup yesterday. Gets his first start of the LCS. And ties him up. He goes. No balls and 2 strikes. Astros have Colin McHugh getting loose early. So a first inning warm up for a starter turned reliever.
He threw the 9th inning yesterday, got 3 outs.
Neither manager used their closer. Hinch didn't need it out of a save situation. Alex Cora / Ron Renicky, the bench coach, did not go with Kimbrel in the 9th inning down a run. As Kinsler strikes out, 3 pitches, and Cole puts him away. And there is the 2nd out and the first strikeout for Gerrit Cole.
Just had too much velocity for the veteran Kinsler there. 99 miles an hour by Cole to get the strikeout.
Jackie Bradley Jr. now with 2 away. Bogarts, Pierce, and Devers aboard. Bogarts reaching on the error. Pierce walked. Devers with the RBI single.
You can see Cole pawing at that mound, like angry that he's got himself in this position. Hasn't gotten control of his secondary pitches yet here in the first.
Mookie Betts with a leadoff double. That snapped a string for Cole. He had retired the leadoff hitter in each of his last 13 innings prior to this one here tonight. Betts doubles and scores. 3 hits in the inning as Jackie Bradley Jr. fouls it off. Cole's been dominant against left-handers this season. Left-handed hitters hitting just 162 during the year against Gerrit Cole. 160 strikeouts. Left-handers tonight already in the first inning, 2 for 2. Benintendi and Devers with base hits, both driving in runs. One on the ground. Altuve fumbles it briefly, recovers for the out, and the side is retired. Boston leaves the bases loaded, but they score twice. The Astros will have to play from behind early at Fenway Park tonight. We remind you that Bleacher Report gives you the moments that matter faster. Download the BR app today. We go to the second inning. Red Sox come out swinging the bats here tonight. They lead 2-0. David Price starts his second inning. And facing Marwin Gonzalez, the switch hitting left fielder. Strike one on Gonzalez. Took the collar last night, was 0 for 4, but he's been terrific in this postseason. Had a great series against the Indians. Drove in 5 runs in the 3-game sweep of Cleveland. David Price with a strikeout to end the first inning, and yeah, making sure that heartbeat is in rhythm.
Yeah, be still my heart.
Had back-to-back strikeouts with 2 on. He walked 2, then struck out Gurriel and White to end the inning. Astros will give you some high-stress innings. Often. It's a very difficult lineup to get through, and then you look at the bottom of the order and what has been an injured Carlos Correa most of the year with a back injury. He now fits into the 7th spot in the order, and what a weapon to have in the bottom third of your batting order. A.J. Hinch said it took hardly any convincing at all. He knows where he is as a hitter and all the time he's missed this season, so he was more than happy to go where the manager thought he would fit best. Does give them a major weapon. The former Rookie of the Year. Gonzalez takes a ball inside. We got a matchup tonight of 2 former 1-1s. First round, first pick. David Price coming out of Vanderbilt in 2007. Gerrit Cole out of UCLA in 2011. The 1-1s they're known as. And David Price, of course, burst onto the scene the next year, drafted in '07, and then was in the big leagues pitching beautifully for the Tampa Bay Rays in their World Series year, losing to the Phillies that season. But Price was great, and out of the bullpen.
Showed so much poise for a young pitcher in that first postseason. Did his best pitching here at Fenway Park during the regular season. 9-2, ERA under 3 in 16 starts.
Just as Joe Madden and the Tampa Bay Rays were trying to establish themselves against some of the powers in the American League East, David Price was right in the middle of that for that run in '08 and the subsequent years. Jam shot foul right off his foot. David Price now 33 years of age, so his travels through the big leagues have gone from Tampa Bay to Detroit, as Gonzalez fouls that off his instep. 7 years with the Rays, parts of 2 years with the Tigers, while Dave Dombrowski, his current head of the baseball operations here, was the director in Detroit. And then 1 year in Toronto, and he's been in Boston since the '16 season. Currently in year 3 of a 7-year contract with the Red Sox. Back up the middle, got a man right there. Kinsler with a high throw, but in time, no problem. Gonzalez is retired, and one away in the second. We check in with Lauren.
Brian, Ron, you guys were talking about Price's sigh of relief sort of after the first. I'm over here by the Red Sox dugout, and after Price got through the inning, he got a fist bump from his manager and pitching coach, Dana Levangie. Then Price went down in the tunnel. Dustin Pedroia immediately followed, and when Pedroia came back, he was smiling, clapping, saying, "All right, boys, now we go."
Hey, listen, not only does David Price know the numbers, his teammates know the numbers. Everyone that is involved around David Price is pulling for him, right?
The human side of this game, and it is fully exposed in the postseason as well. These guys aren't robots. You line them up with numbers, but nobody wants to win more than David Price. Nobody understands the numbers better than David Price all these years. Carlos Correa on the ground. Top spin deep in the hole. That's a long throw, and Correa beats it out. Well, Xander Bogaerts was very nonchalant, but that's a tough play for a shortstop to make. And Correa, with his great speed, able to leg it out for an infield hit.
Well, that is one of those plays that it's almost as soon as you catch it, you got to fire it. But he took a couple of seconds here before letting it go. A couple of steps, took his time, and with the speed of Correa, just can't do that. That's a loss of concentration play there by Bogaerts.
No need for a crow hop. Don't have time with Correa on the move. Got two outstanding shortstops in Correa and Bogaerts, and both swing the bat. That was a mistake, though. So a man on for Martin Maldonado. Chris Sale ran into trouble at the bottom of the order last night. This Astros bottom third or bottom 4 hitters. Certainly a couple of batters that Price wants to contain tonight. Maldonado and Josh Reddick. Reddick hit a home run last night, but you have the left-handed hitting Reddick. Maldonado a light hitting catcher, although he did homer in the division series against the Indians. And that's a fair ball down the line to the wall. It'll go. Correa is going to head to third. He'll stop there, and Maldonado with a double. Boy, anytime the Astros get offense from the bottom of their order, especially Martin Maldonado, they can really churn out the runs.
Well, yesterday they did it via the walk, and Maldonado got hit by a pitch, but he delivers it. Scorching grounder past Devers at third base. And if it wasn't played so beautifully by Benintendi in left field, Correa might have scored on this double down the line.
And he played the perfect angle, didn't he? Great shot at that. And the cutoff and relay. Third base coach Gary Pettis was watching that entire exchange, and he put the stop sign up for Correa. With one away, it's second and third now, and here is Josh Reddick. who launched a long home run last night, 419-foot home run. And Reddick pops this one up. Let's watch Correa here. Not tagging. And there is out number 2. Correa gave it a bluff just in case.
Boy, that's a huge out there for Price on the first pitch to Reddick. Looking to hit the ball in the air was Josh Reddick.
Let's listen in a moment ago to Gary Pettis.
No. Right there, right there.
You could see the decision.
Atta baby.
Well, he made his decision once Benintendi came up with the ball clean.
He had that right arm ready to wind, and then he put up the stop sign at the last moment.
Called off the jam.
It's a big out for David Price. He gets Josh Reddick. And back to the top of the order now, and George Springer. 2 on, 2 out. Back-to-back innings for the Astros with 2 men on base.
Remember, it was Springer yesterday's game with the 2-run single early that got the Astros on the board.
Popped up to Pierce in the infield his first time up. Springer with the 2 RBIs last night. He was 1 for 3, did walk twice. And he muscles one fair just inside the line. This is going to score 2. Springer is on his way to second with a 2 RBI double. Just like that, the Astros have tied it up. And it is Springer who delivers again.
Boy, Springer in the postseason is just money. Good pitch by Price. He jammed him. He kind of just pushed that ball to the right side, and with Pierce shifted over, left it wide open for that ball down the line. Good pitch inside. It wasn't like Springer was trying to go that way. He was just jammed with the pitch, and it fell in.
He has been the Astros' best when the stakes are the highest. World Series MVP last year. Two games, still 2 outs, and here is Altuve. On the ground, that is a foul ball. You think back to that play by Xander Bogaerts at short.
Yeah, the misplay.
I mean, you're thinking, if you're David Price, you're thinking 2 outs, you come right back after your team gets 2 runs, 2 outs, nobody on. But a crow hop on a throw over to first base. It would have been a tough play. Don't get me wrong. That would have been a difficult play for a shortstop to make with Correa's speed, but he legs it out for the infield hit. And now 3 hits in the inning. 2 runs are in on the Springer double, and Altuve down in the count 0-1.
You know, Brian, difficult play, but at this time in the postseason, those plays, all of them have to be made.
Gotta have it. Both teams will tell you, you almost have to play perfect baseball at this point in the game and in the postseason. No balls, 2 strikes on Altuve. He's been hobbled with a bad knee. He walked his first time up. Springer will be off with a crack of the bat at second base, and a swing and a miss. He struck him out. The inning is over. 3 strikeouts for David Price, but George Springer extends his postseason hit streak to 11. That's an Astros record. Makes it 2-2. a look at the schedule tomorrow. The NLCS, presented by Google Assistant, resumes at 7:30 Eastern on FS1. Game 3 between the Brewers and the Dodgers. Series all tied at 1 apiece. And we'll be back right here on TBS with Game 3 of the ALCS. Red Sox Astros Tuesday at 5 Eastern from Houston. Coverage starts at 4:30 Eastern. MLB postgame pregame show will get us started at 4:30. It's presented by the Chrysler Pacifica. TBS, your exclusive home for the 2018 American League Championship Series. American League has the stage to themselves tonight for Game 2. A travel day tomorrow down to Texas, and then resuming Game 3 at Minute Maid Park. And you know they'll be rocking at Minute Maid Park. Retractable roof, all the comforts and the amenities. And they are there at Minute Maid Park tonight. That's a live shot of the fans that have gathered, a watch party. And they've got us on the big screen there, cheering on their team. They drew 10,000 last night just to come in and hang out at the old ballpark.
Did I hear it right? They sold the tickets out for the championship series in 3 minutes.
3 minutes. 3 minutes. Had a chat with Reed Ryan, their president today, the son of Nolan Ryan, who runs the Astros organization. Reed, and said the fan support has been amazing. There's a high fly ball deep into right center. Had him played perfectly. Springer was standing right there, just a few steps back. And there is out number 1. Vasquez is retired, the 9th place hitter, and that'll send us back to the top of the order and Mookie Betts. Gerrit Cole facing 8 batters, giving up 2 runs in the first. Lauren's got more on the hard-throwing right-hander.
BA, a strong connection between Justin Verlander and Gerrit Cole. A lot of people compare them because they're big with plus stuff. The team, they don't see it that way. You can see them in the dugout on nights they aren't pitching, talking strategy, and I'm told they rarely agree. One wants to throw a curveball in a certain scenario. The other says slider. They're both intellectually curious and want to grab 1% from the other.
Now they are, I think you look at the readings, the fastball readings as Betts. A high fly ball to center field. That's Springer again. And there is out number 2. You know, you look at the numbers, the raw data, and it's, well, these two guys are very similar, but they don't go about their business the same way. It's a different type of pitching. Justin Verlander with all of his pedigree. Gerrit Cole just now entering into his postseason years with the Astros, even though he had pitched in the postseason with the Pirates on a couple of occasions. Can't ask for a better 1-2 punch than these two this year.
Yeah, I will say, though, it always helps when you pitch behind the veteran Verlander, and he kind of gives you a blueprint on how to get hitters out if you're facing the same lineup. And then secondly, and it's not for everybody, but boy, it really helps when you have a number 1 and you're able to kind of draft right behind him and do your thing.
Benintendi takes a ball down and in. I thought that really showed up with the Dodgers when they had Kershaw in that lead spot, in the A spot. Then Greinke came in, and he was fantastic. And it is very similar here in Houston. Benintendi in the air, left field, heading toward the monster. And that is going to be caught by Gonzalez just in front of the big wall in left field. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Gerrit Cole. Alex Bregman, star on the rise, a star he has been in postseasons past. He's ready to lead off for the Astros, and we continue from Fenway. Watching live sports is easy. Download to Discover Now. Live over everything. BR Live. David Price back on the mound. We go to the third inning now at Fenway Park. Game 2 of the American League Championship Series. Alex Bregman will lead off and moves him back. Gerrit Cole got a long fly ball to left field. Those always get your heartbeat going at Fenway Park.
Both pitchers trying to take care of their heart.
Nothing like that 37-foot wall at Fenway Park. There's a strike to Bregman.
This is a big inning for Price. Going through the heart of that lineup again for the Astros. Second time around. He's trying to establish that changeup. Has not been able to throw it for a strike yet.
Walked 2 in the first inning. Struck out 2 to end the inning. Gave up back-to-back hits in the second. And then the 2 RBI double by Springer with 2 outs before striking out Jose Altuve to end the inning. And Bregman pops this one up. Should stay playable. That is Pierce over, and he'll give way to Vasquez, who makes the catch, and there is out number 1. Bregman retired.
I mean, he went a good distance, Vasquez, here, but he called it quick, took charge, and made the play.
Sandy Leon started last night. Boston carries 3 catchers on their postseason roster. We did see Vasquez last night. He did have a pinch hit appearance. Came in the game defensively late. Gurriel swinging away at the first pitch, fouls it off.
Well, see, Pierce stumbled a little bit, so he was never going to get there on time. So it was good that Vasquez took charge.
Everybody has to be aware of the shifts now, and knowing that a first baseman has a long way to go as Pierce is covering the hole. That's going to be a base hit up the middle. Gurriel with a single with 1 away. Big turn around first base. Well, he likes the high pitch. He took a shoulder high pitch last night and knocked it out. Player history presented by Jim Beam. Drink smart as we look at 27-year-old Tyler White, the designated hitter these first 2 games of the LCS. Up and down a couple of times this year. Second recall was late July, and the numbers off the chart since he came back up. He really gave Houston a big bat when they had so many injuries at that time, and he has settled in as the DH against left-handed starters. Two-2 game. Price with more traffic on and a fly ball to right. Routine for Mookie Betts. 2 men are out for the Astros in the third. Now, what is fact about David Price is the fact he has not won a postseason start. What is false about David Price is that he has never pitched well in a postseason. That's not true. He has had moments. He's had great moments out of the bullpen. Before he got to Boston, he was 4 of 8 in quality starts in the postseason. All 8 of those starts, he went at least 6 innings. And his 2 postseason starts with Boston had gone a total of 5 innings. There have been moments of greatness for him, and I go back to, I brought this up during the division series, but that game he pitched in 2013 in the tiebreaker game with the season on the line for the Tampa Bay Rays. They had to play a game 163 in Arlington against the Rangers, and that was as good as we saw that year. David Price went the distance, finished the game against Texas. Rays won that game 5-2. They would eventually beat Cleveland in a wild card game, and then Price would pitch against the Red Sox in the division series that year, 2013.
You know, it's almost inconceivable that he would have no wins at this point. But think of it this way. This is his 11th start in the postseason. His teams have never scored for him in the first inning until tonight.
2 runs in the first. Astros immediately answer with 2 in the second inning. He's left some starts with the lead. That's the run support you're talking about. 1.9 runs per game in those 10 postseason starts. They got him 2 on the board in the first inning tonight. Marwin Gonzalez, no balls and a strike, and a check on the runner at first.
You can see that Price doesn't have much of a move to first base, but he's very quick to the plate. Kind of has a little quick slide step to deliver the ball.
Price made 2 appearances against the Astros in last year's division series. 6 2/3 innings, no runs. Relief outings for him included 4 shutout innings in a game 3 scenario. That was a must-win game 3 facing elimination. They would lose the Red Sox in 4. And the numbers as a reliever last year. That's more the full history. The headlines are 10 starts, 0-9. But there's a little more to the story.
It's like a yoke around his neck that he's trying to get rid of, right? That offer.
2 balls and a strike with 2 outs. Marwin Gonzalez, the switch hitter. Only lefty in the lineup for Houston tonight is Reddick. Little flare foul. 2-2 now on Gonzalez. Price has yet to have that 3 up 3 down inning. Had a scoreless first, stranded 2. Got a chance to get out of this third. 2-2 the count, and it's a high fastball at 93 miles an hour. And the count goes full, and that'll mean Gurriel will be on the move. Correa due next.
He's had a couple of strikeouts already in this game with that high fastball. White in his first at bat, and Altuve in his second AB.
51 pitches already.
We've seen a lot of this in the first game, and we're seeing it in the second. We see a lot of stepping out of the hitters. We see the pitchers stepping off the mound.
Gurriel takes off, and swinging a foul back out of play right over our heads. Why is that?
I think to me it seems like the hitters and the pitchers are both fighting for their own tempo to not proceed either with the pitch or to proceed with the at bat until they're fully ready. That's the battle between both.
The postseason gives you those tense moments from inning 1 to inning 9, or extra innings till the finish line. Price is in one here. Runner at first. He takes off, and a swing and a high fly ball deep left. This one's gonna fly out of Fenway. Hits the banner above the monster seats. A booming home run for Marwin Gonzalez. It's a 2-run blast, and the Astros lead 4-2.
Well, Gonzalez wins the battle of being ready. Try to come in with that cutter. Didn't get in enough. And that short stroke by Gonzalez from the right side produces a long home run.
No doubter. All 4 runs coming with 2 outs against David Price. And Marwin Gonzalez, who drove in 5 runs in the division series. Now with 2 here, that's a high fly ball into left. That'll be easy enough for Benintendi as Correa on the first pitch flies out. Inning is over, but damage done. Marwin Gonzalez, the switch hitter from the right side, launches at Fenway. When does the World Series start?
The 2018 World Series begins on Tuesday, October 23, 2018, and ends on Wednesday, October 31, 2018.
And who will represent the American League at the World Series? The Red Sox and the Astros playing off for that chance. Marwin Gonzalez with a long home run. Hit it over the monster seats. Her name is Beth. She's from Houston, and she's got the ball.
Wow.
Now that is a souvenir. A Rob Manfred special right there. Astros fans have traveled well here to Boston. Everywhere you go downtown, you see the bright orange of the Houston Astros fans, and they've been well represented here.
Or the cowboy hats.
All smiles. What a team they have to root for. I asked you in the open, are we watching an historically good team here, meaning put them up with some of the best teams in the annals of the game? It's hard to say that 4 games into a postseason, but these are the defending world champs, and they have had their thumb on their opponents every game so far in this postseason.
Hey, listen, no one's defended since the Yankees from 1998 to 2000. So let's just say right now they're playing the best baseball, I think, of all the teams in the postseason. You know, that's the key for this October, is do you peak right at the right time? Despite winning 103 games, this team went through a lot this year with injuries to some key players.
There's a strike to J.D. Martinez. Got Xander Bogaerts due next. 3, 4, 5 in the Boston order. Martinez lined out to Altuve his first time up. And a swing and a miss. Gerrit Cole strikes him out for the first out. Moments ago, Lauren had a chance to catch up with Astros skipper A.J. Hinch.
AJ, they're aggressive early. Has Cole settled in your eyes?
Well, I'm glad he got out of that first inning mess, you know, and he was pretty amped up early, wasn't really making pitches, escaped with only 2 runs. I think he's settled down now.
How do you continue to put pressure on Price?
We just got to keep getting base runners on. You know, every inning we've had a couple guys on. We capitalized last inning, the last 2 innings. We keep putting base runners on, give ourselves a chance, put some pressure on him.
Appreciate it.
You got it.
Well, retiring 6 straight batters will get you where you want to be. Yesterday's game, Justin Verlander found that lane to the outside corner to righties right from the first inning. Cole has not found it yet, but he seems to be zeroing in.
A strikeout of Martinez, facing Bogarts now in a wave and a miss. And now staked to 4 runs. You know, Gerrit Cole was given a lot of run support this season. He received 7.3 runs of support per start this year. Has not lost a game since August 10th. He's kind of the opposite of David Price, at least Price in the postseason. But it's more than just being in the sweet spot in the rotation that gets the runs. When you're pitching as well as Gerrit Cole, there is a mentality by your position player group that this guy's going to keep him down. You're a little more freed up offensively, it would seem. And they score some runs. They score runs against anybody, but especially when Cole's on the mound. It's an extraordinary number. 7+ runs per start this year.
I mean, that costs you a lot of dinners on the road, doesn't it?
Well, for the first time with that home run, first time in Major League history, homers in 14 consecutive postseason games. That home run by Gonzalez. That's what the Astros have going right now. Able to check his swing. Joe West enthusiastically says no, he didn't go.
Well, now we've seen a changeup that was thrown to J.D. Martinez, and here the 2-2 changeup to Bogarts that he held up on. Unlike Justin Verlander, Gerrit Cole likes his changeup and likes to use it often.
3-2 pitch and a shot back up the middle. Right by the feet of Gerrit Cole, and Xander Bogaerts with a 1-out single. That breaks up 6 in a row. Retired by Cole. Had a couple of strikeouts in that grouping. And now he'll pitch from the stretch with Steve Pearce coming up.
Well, the day of the shift, the ball that goes right back up the middle, you have to kind of check yourself for a second, make sure that no one's in that position. But you have to play pretty straight up against Bogarts, who can hit the ball to all fields.
Astros do play a little modified shift here with Steve Pearce, expecting him to pull on the ground. Altuve is close enough to second. There's a strike to Pearce. It's only the 3rd inning. It's only game 2. But it feels like an inning where Boston needs to get some runs on the board. They need to do some damage against Gerrit Cole in the 3rd inning. They've already struck for 2 in the 1st.
But I think you're right. A quick answer is needed.
And Pearce takes a strike. 2 former Pirates here, and Steve Pearce and Gerrit Cole. Pearce has been making his tour through the American League East. Came to the Red Sox from the Blue Jays. Been a nice pickup for them. And with Mitch Moreland nursing a sore hamstring, not really a platoon. That's a nice block back there by Maldonado. Keeps Bogarts at first. Keeps a double play intact.
The real good catchers, when they block the ball, they'll try to sometimes take their glove out of play so it won't carry them off their glove and just play it right off the chest protector. That's textbook by Maldonado. He leans into it and leans forward.
Learned that technique from the brothers Molina. In the air, left field, hit well. Gonzalez back, reaches up, it's off his glove and off the wall. Bogarts will hold at 3rd. Into second is Pearce with a double. And Marwin Gonzalez is down in left field. The monster bit him right there. crashed hard up against the wall. Second and third with one away. Springer asking for some medical attention for Marwin Gonzalez.
Well, this is one of the hardest plays to make here at Fenway Park. It's that ball that you think you have a chance to make the play, and it puts you in harm's way once you get close to that wall, and that's what happened to Gonzalez.
And all those notches where the hand-operated scoreboard is, there's these little notches and angles, and I mean there's no padding there, folks, and that is a direct hit. Like he may have either his back or his head as he slams into the wall. Boy, had it in his glove for a moment.
Yeah, I think it was his back. I didn't see his head jolt back and hit the wall.
It is appropriately named the Green Monster. And Gonzalez is down.
Sometimes when you hit your back against a wall like that, you'll lose your breath. I mean, this play happens and this injury happens because he sold out to try to make that play for his pitcher.
Anxious moments here for the Astros as they watch their teammate being tended to. And you know he's trying all he can to remain in this game. Marwin Gonzalez pops a 2-run home run in the top of this third inning.
It looks like he's going to stay in this game. He just needs a few moments.
Astros athletic trainer Scott Behringer is out with A.J. Hinch. And he shoos him away, so he's going to stay. That's a good sign for the Astros. He's going to tough it out. Gerrit Cole tips his cap to Marwin Gonzalez. Appreciates the effort trying to make that catch.
I was saying sometimes when you hit your back against the wall like that, it'll just like knock the wind out of you.
Just as Gonzalez made eye contact with his pitcher. It's a very tight-knit ball club. They love each other. They support each other. They rag on each other. But it is a very interesting culture with the Astros. So Gonzalez will stay. Second and third. Big chance for Boston right now as Rafael Devers takes ball one.
Devers with a big RBI hit in his first at bat.
Devers in the first inning. Chance to drive in a second run, and he defied the shift with that base hit. Made it 2-0 Boston in the first. Two and oh the count. Devers takes one down and in. Ball three. Base open at first. There is one out. And Ian Kinsler is due next. Walk's not the worst thing in the world for Gerrit Cole, but the fire is burning here in Boston.
Except with the 2-run lead, you wouldn't want to get another base runner.
And he walks him. So Devers is aboard. That loads him up. There is that double play opportunity now to get out of the inning, but Ian Kinsler could do some damage now as the Astros bullpen starts to stir.
Well, Kinsler in his first at bat was really blown away by Cole. Be interesting to see if the veteran tries to turn it up a notch, especially on this first pitch.
Kinsler has not had good success in his career against Gerrit Cole. Just 2 hits in 26 career at bats. strike on the outside corner. 98-mile-an-hour bullet right on the edge. And it's 0-1. Cole had a big strike out of Kinsler in that first inning. That really set him up to get out of that mess with only 2 runs and a wave and a miss. To your point, Ron.
Just he's got him on that seesaw of pitching. He's beating him with the fastball. He's got to turn it up a notch to catch up to it, and the slider baffles him.
Second inning out of 3. Boston has had the bases loaded. Cole deals and a swing and a miss. He struck him out on 3 pitches. Second time Kinsler is down on strikes. Third for Gerrit Cole.
Just a high slider that really didn't do a lot, but just behind it was Kinsler. In between that entire at bat.
So now 2 men are out. Cole from the windup. Kinsler has left 6 men on in his first 2 at bats here tonight. Jackie Bradley Jr. now for Boston. He takes a ball. Just 1 hit in the regular season with bases loaded. Boston had 10 grand slams this season. They did damage with the bases full. And Maldonado is going to take this opportunity to use a mound visit.
Well, I've watched Gerrit Cole about half dozen of his starts this year, and always under control. You feel like this moment he's trying to throw a little too hard. Not pitching, more throwing in this game. Sometimes pitchers get in these situations, they want to bull rush through the inning as opposed to kind of finesse your way through the inning.
From the windup, deals and a swing and a miss. High fastball, tough to catch up to.
Well, Maldonado, the pitching whisperer right now.
He sure is. Pitchers love throwing to him. In the air, left field. That is slicing down in the corner, and it is off the wall. 2 runs are in, and Devers is going to score. It's a 3-run double. Jackie Bradley Jr. Boston on top.
Brian, the monster always comes into play in the regular season or the postseason. A.J. Hinch talking to home plate umpire Carapazza. Ball hit about halfway off that wall. And what A.J. Hinch is arguing, did that ball go into the stands at some point? If it did, be a ground rule double, and Devers would come back to first base. Stay at third base.
Put the 3 on the board. Not the case. Stayed in the field of play. It's a 3-spot, 3-run double for Jackie Bradley Jr. 2 outs for Christian Vasquez. The Red Sox are back in the lead now. Big hit for Bradley. And on the first pitch, a big swing and a miss. Yeah, the bounce and stays on the padding, which is in play, and just rode down past Gonzalez. That allowed Devers to score. He was content to stop. It was going to be a 2-run double no matter what, but Devers was waved home by Carlos Feblis after that friendly roll down the padding. A ball and a strike on the Red Sox catcher. Most he's given up all year. How impressive is that season? That this is the most he's allowed, but it comes in game 2 of the ALCS as Vasquez fouls it away.
How impressive is this Red Sox offense to do this to the talented Cole?
Gerrit Cole, pitching in September at Fenway, September 7th, gave up 2 earned runs in 6 innings. He had a 5 earned run game in his only other start, opening day, April 3rd of last year, pitching for the Pirates. So in his 3 starts now, he's given up 12 earned runs in 14 innings. One ball, 2 strikes on Vasquez. Bradley the runner at second, and a swing and a miss. A strikeout to end the inning. Back and forth they go. Red Sox won 108 games this year, most in the majors. Jackie Bradley Jr. drives in 3 with a wall ball. 5-4 Boston. We go to the 4th at Fenway. This 2018 American League Championship Series is presented by the Google Assistant, an easier way to get things done with just your voice. 3 on the board for the Boston Red Sox on that 3 RBI double by Jackie Bradley Jr. And Boston now back in the lead. 5-4. David Price back to work. Misses his first offering to Maldonado. And as important as it was for the Red Sox to score against Gerrit Cole, at least create some traffic on the bases last inning, equally as important now for Houston to try to turn the tables on David Price. It is highly likely that with a couple of base runners they could get into the Boston bullpen right here. Don't know how long Alex Cora would stick with Price.
It was the first good changeup from Price so far in this game. Here comes in the 4th.
8-9-1 coming up for Houston. And Maldonado, a little tapper, and let it roll, let it roll. It is going to go foul. Vasquez was creeping along that line with it. Every home player, so the player for the home team knows how the baselines roll, and Vasquez had a pretty good idea that was going to roll foul. then you pick it up.
You know, there was a day a long time ago that a lot of the fields were crowned. That's how they got rid of the water. So anything down the line would always go foul. Not the case anymore. It usually stays pretty true along both lines on the first base and third base side.
Those painted lines, that's not chalk. Don't raise chalk anymore. Most of them are painted. Prettier that way. Price has Maldonado in a 1-2 count. And a strikeout. Moments ago, Lauren caught up with Red Sox manager Alex Cora.
Alex, you're aggressive at the plate. How important is that against Cole?
I mean, we did a good job in the first inning. He started mixing up the breaking balls after Rafi got the hit. So we just got to stay with it. You know, if he's in the zone, try to do damage.
You want a command from Price. What's your take so far?
I mean, they got two out singles. You know, the one by Springer, the home run by Marwin. But he thrown the ball well. I think he has a good two-seamer going. The broken bat single by Springer, kind of like that. That's unlucky. The other one wasn't, but he thrown the ball well.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
And he's got the changeup working now, so that should really help him as he tries to navigate maybe the third time through this lineup. This is the most runs Price has ever gotten in the postseason.
And the most Gerrit Cole has given up this season. Flipping the script a little bit on either side of the ledger tonight. Josh Reddick with one away. By the way, how good does Lauren have it right now? She gets to do managers interviews in the half inning immediately following that manager's team taking the lead.
That's right.
They're out their best.
All smiles and giggles from the manager.
Good job, Lauren. It's great to have Lauren with us. She's doing a great job covering all the points of this series. Price misses outside to Reddick. Josh Reddick was drafted and developed by the Red Sox. First 3 years here. Traded twice. Traded from Boston to Oakland. Oakland to the Dodgers, and then signed a free agent deal. That one's hit hard into left field, but right at Benintendi. Reddick lines out. And Price has retired the first two. Gives us a chance to look at tonight's playmakers presented by the Chrysler Pacifica. Now George Springer on an 11-game postseason hitting streak. We're on that is an Astros franchise record.
We talked about it earlier. He just in RBI situations, he's been money. As far as power in the postseason, 8 home runs in his last 10 games coming into this game.
Springer driving in a pair in the second inning with that double. And a pop up into shallow right. Well, this was the inning David Price needed. His first 3-up, 3-down inning. Low pitch inning as well. Shutdown inning in the top of the fourth. Red Sox are coming to bat with a lead. Official caps, t-shirts, hoodies, jerseys, jackets, and more. You can find all the gear you need all postseason long at MLBshop.com. I like those Wally t-shirts they have down there, the little stuffed animals.
Nice.
That's what I'm bringing back. Price coming off a 10-pitch inning. Now Gerrit Cole will start his 4th inning. Red Sox have a 5-4 lead. Marwin Gonzalez returning to left field after that collision with the wall. He was busy last inning. Red Sox score 3 runs, 3 RBI double. And Gonzalez explaining to Jose Altuve the wall ball as it bounced off the wall for 3 runs. Betts can fly. Cole flips and in time to get Mookie Betts. Good play by Cole. Took his time. He's already committed an error in this game, but handles that one well, and Betts is retired.
Well, he gets to the ball nicely, and then with the underhand shovel, had a little difficulty getting the ball out of his glove, but makes the play. Nice. Gurriel had that target on inside part of first base.
Andrew Benintendi now drove in a run with a single in the first. He's 1 out of 2. Had a key 3 RBI triple against the Yankees in a Game 3 win for Boston. Boston beat the Yankees in the division series in 4. They lost Game 2 here at Fenway and then won the next 2 at Yankee Stadium. Sidewinder Joe Smith loosening in the Astros bullpen in case Cole has trouble. Has one away, and that one's hit hard into center field. Springer is there for out number 2. Line drive out. Gerrit Cole 2 up and 2 down in the 4th inning.
Really, it's the race to see which starting pitcher is going to enjoy the fruits of all these runs.
Take you back to an at-bat. JD Martinez against Gerrit Cole June 1st, and talk about a frozen rope out to right field, and Martinez will bat for the 3rd time against Gerrit Cole. Gary Sheffield said on the pregame show, and you reiterated as well, that Betts and Martinez, these are the 2 MVP candidates. Sounded like he got it on the label just a tad, and it's going to be a routine fly ball out. Red Sox need big series out of Betts and Martinez. Right now, Boston has a lead. Astros coming to bat in the 5th.
is brought to you by Google Assistant, an easier way to get things done with just your voice. And by Midas. Trust the Midas touch.
Well, it's been the two offenses that have done some damage here tonight. 9 runs on the board already. 5-4 Boston in this matchup of former 1-1s. First round, first pick, draft picks, David Price and Gerrit Cole. We go to the 5th. Jose Altuve leads off. David Price. Everybody has their own superstitions, and David Price will not pick up a baseball that is sitting atop the rubber. Kick it off and then pick it up. Just a thing. Sure, there's a reason behind it down deep. You never had anything like that, did you, Ron?
No, that's why I found it so interesting. But every pitcher, like you said, has his little idiosyncrasies that make him tick. Pitchers tend to be very superstitious.
First time I saw him do that, I thought he was maybe nervous, maybe just tripped, kicked the ball. But that's a thing he does. A lot of pitchers will jump over the lines. Remember Turk Wendell? He was kind of the symbol of the superstitious pitcher back in the 90s.
Jumping over the line, didn't he?
Licorice, brush his teeth.
Yeah.
Google him. Ask Google Assist who Turk Wendell is. That's a great baseball story. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Altuve. And a big chopper over to third base. Devers throws on the run, and a close play, and out is the call. That was bang bang. Boy, for a guy with a knee injury, those straight line runs for Jose Altuve are pretty fast.
Yeah, he's been running well in this series. We saw him beat out a potential double play grounder in the first game. Now Devers does everything right, but he didn't get a lot on the throw. That's why this play became so close. And again, Steve Pearce is becoming the best stretching first baseman we've seen in quite some time.
That's very similar to the play he made, the posture he was in when he caught a throw from third to end the division series. And closing out the Yankees. It was a great play. Nunez on that occasion. Devers on this one. 1 away. Here is Bregman.
Again, Price back to that changeup. Usually when he's going well, see his longest postseason appearance with the Red Sox, the starting pitcher. He's got that ball that fades away from the right-handers, a sinking fastball. He will throw that backdoor cutter. That's what he threw right there. He'll cut the ball inside and that changeup running away. He doesn't have the sinking fastball, but he has that changeup running away. Gives him another weapon, third time through this lineup.
Bregman walked in the first. Price got him to pop up into foul territory right in front of the Red Sox dugout his next time up. He's been doing that a lot too, trying to straighten Bregman up with an inside fastball.
Bregman's reaction there was like he's getting a little sick and tired of the ball up and in. Hit in yesterday's game by Joe Kelly.
There's that protective brace on the lead elbow. A Red Sox pitcher's reaction to that sentiment would be back off the plate if you don't want to get hit.
Well, it should be as a pitcher. Too bad.
Right on top of it. Looking to pull. And that one ate him up. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Bregman. Last year in the division series, Bregman had some big hits, had an 8th inning home run off Chris Sale in game 4. That was a closeout game last year for Houston, taking down Boston. He's had some big moments in the postseason and some big ones right here in this ballpark. On base 5 times yesterday, but still hitless in this series thus far. On the ground, foul. Bregman has walked 4 times already in the first 2 games. 0 for 2 at the plate, been hit by a pitch.
Defense for the Red Sox is so shifted over on the left side. Hard for anything on the ground hit by Bregman to sneak through.
He was great against all pitchers across the board, but especially against lefties. Had a .315 batting average against left-handers this year. Extra base hitting machine. Third in the majors in extra base hits. And back inside goes Price. And it's another walk to Alex Bregman. So he's hitless, but he has been on a ton. 7 times already in the first 2 games. Let's check in with Casey Stern in our Atlanta studios. Casey. All right, Casey, thanks. Justin Turner having another Game 2 moment in the National League Championship Series. Had the walk-off home run last year. And what proved to be a game-winning home run yesterday in Game 2. And our friends from Fox will have that game on FS1 tomorrow night as that series resumes. Joe Buck, John Smoltz, Verducci, and Rosenthal.
Who said there's no such thing as clutch? Turner is clutch for the Dodgers.
I believe in the clutch gene, Ronnie.
Yeah, I do too.
Yuli Gurriel will bat with 1 away. Bregman the runner at first. And a chopper over to third base. Devers waits back. His only play is first base. And there is out number 2. Bregman representing the tying run now in scoring position. But there are 2 outs for Tyler White.
One thing you see with this Astros team, not only are they so talented, their offense can strike at any time. But if you notice in the first 2 games of the series, it doesn't matter who's running. It's full bore down that first base line. Playing the game right.
And for a team that won the World Series last year, they play with an impressive chip on their shoulder. No complacency. Some of it's natural that you would win a World Series. You go on the interview circuit. You end up on Saturday Night Live among other network shows, and you can understand why a regular season game or even a spring training setting as you're trying to prepare for the year wouldn't give you the same kind of jump. There's Matt Barnes getting loose. The get out of trouble guy for the Red Sox. I give A.J. Hinch, I give these players a lot of credit with the Astros. Watching them this year, they go at it hard. Tyler White with big power. He's 0 for 2 tonight against Price. Tying run at second base. 2 men are out.
Well, your thought here as a pitcher is that you've got to go after White. Got to retire him with 2 outs here, because Gonzalez is up next. He already's gotten you for a 2-run home run.
Long look in there, trying to get the signs right. Price and Vasquez, and that one misses. Now it's 3-0 on White. Anxious moments for the Red Sox manager. When to go to the bullpen. Once you start that process, then you're in it for matchups. You hear the phone ringing. Craig Bjornson on his way to receive the message. Could be the last hitter for David Price, with Gonzalez the switch hitter due next. Well, Vasquez just missed that one, and that is going to be ball 4. So White is aboard. First and second now with 2 away.
Well, this is the problem for Alex Cora, as you see he's going to come out, it looks like, and get David Price. Gonzalez, the switch hitter, presents an issue because just as tough from that left-hand side.
And through the years, managers would prefer to have Gonzalez in right-handed, but he's been so good right-handed here in the last couple of months that now it's about stuff on the mound, and Alex Cora is going to take his chances with his pen. David Price will exit here in the 5th. take a look at StatCast, powered by Amazon Web Services. The home run by Marwin Gonzalez. 2-out, 2-run homer. That was headed for Lansdowne. Hit that sign, the advertisement.
He's had some big hits against left-handed pitching. Of course, that hit off Price today. He also had a big double against Andrew Miller in the Cleveland series.
There is that home run ball. She'd like another one. She says a lot colder here than the confines of Minute Maid Park. So Matt Barnes is on for the Red Sox. Now you go through a season, Matt Barnes is used in the late situation, 7th inning, maybe setup role for Craig Kimbrel. Things change in the postseason, and every manager has his closer for the starter, the guy that comes in trouble when the starter has to exit, and that has been Barnes, and he will take over with 2 on and 2 away. That is the other closer.
Got 4 outs in yesterday's game.
You could envision a multi-inning save for Craig Kimbrel tonight after not getting in the game last night.
All 4 runs by the Astros tonight have come with 2 out.
Marwin Gonzalez turns around, hits lefty against Barnes. Bregman and White are the base runners. And a first pitch strike. Astros did big damage on the Indians bullpen in the division series. They scored 14 runs off Cleveland relievers. As you look at the line of David Price, still 2 runners out there, his responsibility. It'll be another postseason start without a win for Price, even though he exits with a lead. Did not finish 5 innings, the requisite. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes on Gonzalez.
Well, this is really what you see from the right-handers in the bullpen for Alex Cora. He wants them to come in, throw strikes, and spin the baseball.
A mound visit for Vasquez, brings in a shortstop Bogarts.
Change the signs again.
Price only a spectator at this point. Still has 2 that belong to him. He cannot win, but he can lose this game if Gonzalez delivers right here. That lead run at first base belongs to Price. Vasquez wants one upstairs, and a swing and a miss. No, he was playing possum. It's a foul ball. Just got a piece. I think Vasquez did that for the runner at second. You cannot challenge a foul tip, even though the technology is advancing. Man, I tell you, that's a break for the Astros. I feel like there is a day coming when this will be reviewable, but right now it is not. So the at-bat continues, and the count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. Umpires using their ears as much as their eyes on a play like that, trying to hear the tick of the bat. And he got him anyway. A strikeout. Price's runners are stranded. Boston still in the lead, 5-4 as we go to the home 5th.
Copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Been a wild night already at Fenway Park. Game 2 of this American League Championship Series on TBS. We're proud to bring it to you. Gerrit Cole back on the mound. And a first pitch fastball strike to Xander Bogaerts. Tony Sipp is the lone left-hander in the Astros pen. Each team has just one lefty in their pen. Eduardo Rodriguez is the Red Sox lefty. Could see Sipp in this inning. Bouncer and deep on the line, and a throw by Bregman is a beauty. Man, what a play by Alex Bregman. Strong arm third baseman.
Well, you know what's interesting about that play? We were talking about Bogaerts earlier. Took his time with the crow hop. Bregman knew that he had to get rid of that ball as soon as he caught it, and really one step and got rid of it, and was hoping Gurriel could make a play on the other side, but it carried the whole way. Boy, he's been good going to his right in this series.
Off balance throw from that far, and just a tiny little short hop from Alex Bregman made it easy on his first baseman Gurriel. Heck of a play. He was a vacuum last night at third base. So one away for Gerrit Cole, and another one down the line, just missed the bag. That's a foul ball. Steve Pearce making a bid at a potential extra base hit. He's been on twice. He walked in the first, was left stranded, then he doubled and scored in the third inning.
It's getting cooler as this night moves along, so the pitcher's blowing in their hands to try to get some warmth on their fingers.
Defensive swing, strike 2. It's 0-2 on Pearce. And a quick check of the home plate umpire Carapaza. Was that a strike? Which he confirms.
Well, Cole had a 1-2-3 fourth. Maybe he's found his game.
7-pitch inning in the fourth. Justin Verlander with the win yesterday keeps climbing the list of postseason wins.
Third now, I believe.
6 innings, gave up just 2 earned runs. Had him on the ropes in the 5th, and he came back out and pitched well in the 6th inning. That was important for Houston. They were able to get a starter through 6th, last 9 outs from the bullpen. Then they put it away in the 9th inning. Did not have to use their closer Osuna. Boy, Cole just wipes out Steve Pearce for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. A reminder, if someone steals a base this World Series, Taco Bell's letting all of America steal a free Doritos Locos taco.
So I had that wrong before. 4th now is Verlander, Pettit, Smoltz, and Glavine ahead of him.
Smoltz and Glavine are kind of just one. They're just one guy, right?
That's right. But it moved them past Roger Clemens.
He's been one of the great postseason performers. Justin Verlander headed to the Hall of Fame, and he's got a young understudy here in Gerrit Cole, younger than Verlander. 28 years of age, Gerrit Cole. And the rest of baseball finding out how good Gerrit Cole can be, and no better guy to hitch your wagon to than Justin Verlander, who is his biggest cheerleader when Cole is on the mound, and vice versa. The starting pitchers back one another. They watch their side sessions, their bullpen sessions. And a strike called on the inside corner. Devers didn't like that call. It's 1-2. Cole with 2 away, deals. Chopper right back to him. Easy play to end the inning. Gerrit Cole has now retired 7 straight and has been efficient in the last 2 innings. Astros down a run. They're coming up.
Come on! Go ahead! Go ahead! Yeah! Yeah! Yes, sir! Attaboy!
Third base coach Gary Pettis, and if there is a man who wants to see the Red Sox go down in a postseason, it is him. His one postseason appearance with the California Angels, as they were known then, 1986, and a devastating loss, 7-game series. That was one of the great ones. Red Sox won that ALCS. Pettis had a great series that year. He has waved home a lot of runners this year with the Houston Astros. Correa takes a strike. Red Sox have Ryan Brazier loosening in the bullpen.
I mean, in a perfect world, they'd like to see Barnes somehow get through this 6th inning.
Has to be some tread on the tires, though, right? Multiple innings yesterday. They've been calling on him often. He's done a terrific job with inherited runners this postseason. He's inherited 6, only 1 has scored. And that was the first game he pitched in the postseason. Nothing since.
It's the time of year when you're asked to do more, Brian.
And as much as Alex Cora wanted Price to get through 5, not so much for the win, but just to give his bullpen that extra break. There's a big bouncer out to short, and this time Bogaerts hustles the throw over to first base, and there is out number 1. For more on the Red Sox bullpen, the state of it, let's check in with Lauren. What do you have, Lauren?
Well, Alex Cora had a front row seat to watch all the bullpen decisions A.J. Hinch made last postseason. A.J. told me he and Cora spent time talking about how to use your best matchup at the most important times rather than defined innings or roles. Just because a certain guy usually pitches the 8th doesn't mean if the matchup dictates otherwise, you ignore the matchup. Being unpredictable, giving hitters different looks, mixing it up was the subject of Alex and AJ's conversations in the past.
All right, thanks, Lauren. And a big part of that is throughout spring training, the regular season, you establish the notion that when it matters, we're going to use you in different roles. Like if you get set into a role with your bullpen, if you haven't communicated that throughout the year, that really ties your hands in the postseason.
Well, of course, there's you talked about it before. There's different lanes for different pitchers, and your best pitchers will pitch against the heart of the other lineup, where other pitchers will pitch more towards the bottom of the lineup.
A strike to Maldonado. It's 0-2. Have used the pen often this postseason, averaging nearly 14 outs per game. Their relief pitchers. And some short starts. Nathan Eovaldi, the one who went deep in a game. That was in a blowout win for Boston against the Yankees. He went 7 and still using all those relievers. That was game 3 of the DS.
Well, I think as a manager now, you just have to decide when is the most important time to get one of your better relievers in. Barnes got the crucial out with the strikeout in the 5th inning, and you'd like to see him get 3 more outs here.
And has the bottom of the order. But there's a big bat in Carlos Correa sitting at the bottom of the order, so an important first out. There's Eovaldi and Porcello, the 2 starters in the bullpen just in case. Porcello has been used out of the bullpen already in the postseason. That would be the first option. You try to stay away from Eovaldi after he is in fact coming back from surgery. This was his comeback year from the Tommy John procedure.
Well,
but he's there just in case you need him.
They're supposed to be pitching game 3 and 4, but they're penciled in.
Penciled. That was the case in the division series. They used Porcello in game 1, so that flip-flop Eovaldi and Porcello. Eovaldi pitching game 3 of that division series. Josh Reddick due next. Barnes with 1 out in the 6th. Red Sox have a lead 5-4. Jackie Bradley Jr. drove in 3 with a double in the 3rd to put him on top. Maldonado had a key hit in the 2nd inning, a 1-out double. Pulled it down the line. And that set up Springer's 2 RBI double later in that inning. Astros were able to tie it in the 2nd. Here's a 2-2 from Matt Barnes. Lazy little pop up. Devers for out number 2.
Well, Barnes has already gotten 3 outs here. Only once Barnes get 4 outs, then pitched the next day. That was the end of July, 26th and 27th. He got 4 outs on the 26th and just 2 outs on the 27th. So talking about doing above and beyond. So Barnes is being asked to do here.
Built-in day off for travel tomorrow. Managed with that in mind as well. Two up, 2 down for Barnes. Here's Josh Reddick. And on the first pitch, backhanded, Devers to his feet, throwing to first in time. Heck of a play, Rafael Devers. And a 1-2-3 inning for Boston. 4 big outs for Matt Barnes. The hot corner has been hot tonight. Devers and Bregman playing well over there. Boston coming up with a 5-4 lead. What's Fenway Park's capacity?
Fenway Park has a capacity of 37,731.
A very familiar number. They pack it often. They sell it out often to capacity. And that's where they are tonight. Red Sox, Astros, Game 2, American League Championship Series. Gerrit Cole back on the mound for Houston. He has locked down Boston. 7 in a row retired. Now has 4 strikeouts. Gave up a 3-run third inning. All 3 of those runs coming on a Jackie Bradley Jr. double. Gave up 2 in the first. An RBI from Benintendi, a hit, and then Devers had a single to drive in the second run. So 3 hits producing the 5 Boston runs. Kinsler has had a rough night against Cole tonight. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Was one of the moves Alex Cora made. He put Devers in the lineup over Nunez, the left-handed bat against Cole. Vasquez got the start behind the plate over Leon, and Kinsler gets the start over Brock Holt. On the ground to short, Correa will corral it, and a strong throw dug out by Gurriel. Nice play by the Astros first baseman.
Season on TBS is brought to you by Sprint. Switch today. And by Hooters. Catch all the games at Hooters and try the new smoked wings.
8 in a row retired by Gerrit Cole.
I think they were just holding there because the Red Sox were checking to see if Gurriel's foot came off kind of early, kind of nonchalant. It came off that bag, so they were taking a look with their video guy.
And the Red Sox say play on. Jackie Bradley Jr. has had the big hit of the night for Boston, trailing 4-2. Had a double off the monster in left to drive in 3. And the Red Sox went ahead, and that's where we sit 5-4. Bradley's first RBIs of the postseason. One of the game's great center fielders. That is a fair ball, and the tag is on Bradley. Maldonado jumped on it quickly. I thought it hit Bradley.
Yeah, Bradley's saying it hit him in the arm when it came up.
That's one they can certainly look at. I think they'll evaluate this one, and before they even go to replay. Actually, I'm not sure this one is reviewable because it is a ball in play. He called a ball in play and not past the bag. Right. So you're going to have a conference here.
Ron Renicky, you can see he's pointing to that ball, hit straight down and come back up and hit Bradley.
And then was Bradley in the box?
And in the box, so the ball should be dead if it hit him.
Not a reviewable play. So now you're relying on the eyes in the field.
On your brethren.
That's the crew chief, Joe West, who's asking the questions, almost going around the horn to the umpires. What'd you see? What'd you see?
And they're asking the same of Vic Carapazza. He saw it as a fair ball, and that Maldonado's hustle kept that ball fair and not foul.
Well, they're definitely talking about the feet out of the box. That was one. I'm not a professional lip reader, but I did read that. Feet out of the box.
Okay, fouled straight down. Does it come up and hit Bradley? On the way down, not on the way up, but on the way down. See how it hits him there, right in the bicep.
And he's in the box. Now here's one thing. So they're going to the headset. This is not a reviewable play. AJ Hinch is trying to cut him off.
Yeah.
Now you can go on an administrative review. You know, this is splitting hairs for me right here. I'm sure we'll get an understanding later, but
I mean, it's kind of making the rules as you go along, isn't it?
Replay review powered by Mitel.
I mean, it obviously hit him right on the arm there, off the mask of Maldonado. Good hustle by Maldonado to try to make the play.
I do not know what the explanation will be on why they go to replay right here.
Because foul tips are in and out of the batter's box, non-reviewable, right?
That's right. We do have a supervisor here at Fenway with us, and we will effort an explanation
We might have.
This surprises me, and AJ Hinch is not pleased that this is there are headsets on right now because there's information potentially being passed.
We might have 2 managers in 2 days here.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, if I'm AJ Hinch and this goes against me, not that you ever want to get thrown out of a postseason game, but he'd have reason to be upset.
He's going to be hot. I mean, you know, one of the decisions I think that Chelsea's got to make is that if it's non-reviewable, then the call on the field will stand. Wouldn't you feel that way, Brian? If they decide it's non-reviewable, that the call by Carapazzo might stand on the field, and it was a fair ball. We know it wasn't, but if it's non-reviewable, those are the rules.
And the common sense part of all this is why isn't it reviewable? You know, should it be? And it is a play that could.
It would have been be an easy play to call, right?
At the time it was implemented, foul tips were hard to see. It was hard to get a replay on that. That's why foul tips and feet in the box and all of that. Well, let's see here. Joe West is going to give us a rule. He says foul ball. Wow, that surprises me. We'll get an explanation, but I'm surprised they went to the headsets. They got the call right ultimately, but had to go to headsets to do it. There is something that allowed them to go to the headsets and get clarification.
Maybe just wanting to get the call right was enough. I don't know.
Foul ball. So instead of an out, 1 ball, 1 strike to count. And that one's in the air, right field. That's going to hang up there for Reddick. And Bradley is retired. 1 extra pitch after all of that.
When it left the bat, though, you had that feeling, but it caught it off the end. I think a change up there from Gerrit Cole.
That certainly would have been some talk show fodder had he gone deep there. So 2 men are out. And Christian Vasquez.
And since that double by Bradley Jr., Gerrit Cole has been rolling along.
Vasquez tonight is 0 for 2. He struck out to end the 3rd inning. That was following the Jackie Bradley Jr. 3 RBI double and a bouncing ball to 3rd base. And so that run for Gerrit Cole started with Vasquez. 10 in a row. He's retired. Jose Altuve, he'll bat when we continue. We're going to the 7th inning. Astros down a run at Fenway. Performance presented by Jaguar.
Well, you can see it seems like every time they need a big hit or home run, they get it from Justin Turner. And anytime you can have a graphic when you're up there with Babe and Lou, that's a good way to go. Wow.
It's the 100th anniversary of Babe Ruth. Then a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox with a couple of World Series wins. Springer leads off. Brazier in. First pitch, 1 out. Springer, after his 2 RBI double, is 1 for 4. And a quick out for Ryan Brazier. He gets the 7th. How about the path to the finish line right now if you're Alex Cora?
Well, we've heard Alex Cora tell us that he could use Craig Kimbrel for 6 outs, but I think you're going to see Rick Porcello, like you saw Chris Sale in Game 4 against the Yankees in the 8th inning, although Kimbrel's getting loose.
Jose Altuve. Big swing and a foul.
First things first, though, Brazier's got to get through the 7th.
And the tough part of the order right here. This top of the lineup with Springer, Altuve, Bregman. If anybody gets on, Gurriel. A 5-4 Boston lead. Lance McCullers Jr., who pitched well last night, is up and throwing in the Astros bullpen. Now they have gotten to the late game relievers. We saw Tony Sipp. We saw Joe Smith. But the fact that Gerrit Cole locked it down and retired 11 in a row, make it 10 in a row,
yep,
was clean through the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. 6 innings, 5 runs against Gerrit Cole tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-2 now on Altuve. The 7th inning has been the damage inning for the Astros this postseason. From the 7th inning on, Houston has scored 18 runs. They've outscored their opponents 7th inning on in 4 games, 18-1. They put 4 on the board in the 9th inning yesterday. Brazier's 1-2. Foul ball. Pierce watches it in the seats. Altuve has an amazing ability to stay in an at-bat and foul tough pitches off. Look where this one is.
I mean, almost on the ground. Still stays in the at-bat.
Best batting average in the big leagues, behind only Betts. When he is behind in the count, as he is here, 1-2. 1 MVP to potentially the next. Altuve to Betts.
You know, the other way to look at it, Brian, is although he's only done it once all season long, if Brazier is able to have an easy inning, then maybe you could ask him to try to get 6 outs.
All on the table for discussion with Alex Cora and his bench coach Ron Renicky. One ball, 2 strikes. Altuve hanging tough. There is Porcello.
Well, it worked a couple times in the division series. Why not stay with it?
Now Porcello in Game 1 against the Yankees, and then Sale in Game 4, the closeout game, 8th innings. 1-2 the count. Brazier deals, and it's low. From AAA closer to pitching in the ALCS, Ryan Brazier. He's been good for him. And maybe more importantly than anything else at this point of the season, he's trusted. But he's got a battle here with Altuve. 2-2, and that one missed. Now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Been an 8-pitch at bat.
He's tempted him with just about everything in his arsenal.
Brazier retired Springer on the first pitch. Multiple signs with nobody on for fear of sign stealing. Here's the 9th pitch of the at-bat, and a line shot center field. Bradley's right there. 2 outs. Made a difficult play look easy. The line drive right at the center fielder.
Well, we have a beautiful view here, and you know at some point that great outfield defense for the Red Sox is going to show you what they can do, and Bradley just got an outstanding jump on that ball. Most center fielders, that's a base hit.
Almost no hesitation on the jump. Trying to decide how well it's hit. Is it going to carry? Is it going to come up short? Bradley was on the move right to the spot, and the end of it looked easy. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Bregman now. Bregman has walked twice. He is 0 for 1. Anxious crowd at Fenway, knowing the damage that Brazier could get himself into at Bregman at the plate. Let's check in with Lauren as the count goes to 2-0. What do you have on Chris Sale, Lauren?
I'm hearing from the Red Sox, BA, that Chris Sale came down with a stomach illness today, was admitted to the hospital for observation this afternoon. He will be kept overnight for evaluation, and any further updates will be released when available.
All right, thanks, Lauren. That is big news.
Whoa.
You wouldn't have figured to see Chris Sale until this series ends up in Houston. A game 4 potentially. See how that would affect him. Yuli Gurriel on deck. Bregman's got it into a 3-0 count. These Astros are aggressive, 3-0. Green lights for all. And a shakeoff from Brazier. He's got the one he wants now. It's a strike. Well placed fastball down and away.
Clutch pitch when it's 3-0. Most of the time during the regular season, you're just trying to get a strike over. This time of the year, still got to execute it on the corners.
Full count. That one at 98. Now they're up at Fenway. Matt Barnes retired 4 straight. Brazier has the first 2 in the 7th. The race to 27 outs. Red Sox lead by a run. 3-2 pitch, just missed, and Bregman is on again. His 3rd walk, his 6th of the series already, and it's a 2-out base runner. The tying run is now on for Yuli Gurriel.
That is his 10th walk in the postseason. 10th.
On base 5 times yesterday, 3 more trips on today, and Dana Levangie on his way out to talk to Brazier, the pitching coach.
Remember Gurriel in last night's game in the 9th inning hit that 3-run home run on a first pitch fastball up and away. So maybe Levangie going to just remind Brazier of that fact.
Now that's the as Lauren reported, the official release through Twitter on the Boston Red Sox Twitter handle, and Chris Sale with that illness, and we wish him well. It's a travel night tonight, heading to Houston. Wouldn't factor in this game, but certainly could later in the series. Newsworthy. Porcello continues to get loose. You figure maybe one more base runner and you might see Porcello. So it's Brazier against Yuli Gurriel. There are a lot of teams that will swing at sliders in the dirt like that. Brazier gets a lot of swings and misses with the slider, the splitter. The Astros don't bite. Very disciplined offense. 10 walks yesterday. There's a wave and a miss.
Back-to-back sliders for Brazier. That one for a strike.
First time Gurriel's ever faced Ryan Brazier. A ball and a strike. On the ground, chopper out to short. Bogarts shovels it over to second base to end the inning. Good work by the Boston bullpen. Barnes and Brazier. 7 outs thus far. It's 5-4 Boston. Tonight's game summary presented by Captain Morgan. David Price, Gerrit Cole. Cole outlasted him. Price will not win this game, but he left with a lead. It's 5-4 Boston as we go inside the booth, presented by Capital One. Brian Anderson with Ron Darling. So a lot to unpack here in this game. It's been entertaining. There's been a lot of action. What's on your headlines right now?
Well, first, I think Gerrit Cole lasting 6 innings allowed Houston to stay in this game. But I think for Boston, we talked about their offense had to come on strong in this game. As you see, Lance McCullers is in the game. Yesterday, with men on base, the Red Sox were 0 for 10. Tonight, 4 for 10. That has been the difference.
A Jackie Bradley Jr. 3 RBI double was the big hit for Boston as that one skips away. Maldonado plays the bounce. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mookie Betts. McCullers facing the top of this order. Benintendi to follow. J.D. Martinez.
As we watched McCullers in last night's game, you're going to see him spin the baseball for the most part with that devastating curveball.
Only adds to an already terrific Astros bullpen. And Betts takes a ball, and now 3-1. Mookie with a double and a run scored in the first inning. Had a hit last night, was 1 for 4. He's been good. Okay, nothing memorable yet from the likely MVP in the American League this year. And that's a strike. 3-2. A first inning RBI for Benintendi after Betts had reached, hitting one off the wall. "3-2 pitch, and it's ball 4. Betts is on, wheels on the bases. Tonight's Golden Touch presented by Midas. The Astros bullpen so far this postseason. This is game number 5 of their postseason. .69 ERA covering 13 innings. Starters going deep always helps the bullpen, and they have the starters to do it. And A.J. Hinch has plenty of weapons down there. And after Gerrit Cole goes 6, he calls on Lance McCullers Jr. Andrew Benintendi now with a runner at first.
Only in the second game of this series, but you're kind of waiting for the Red Sox, who not only can hit the ball in the ballpark but also can play small ball, keep the line moving, put together some hits, steal some bases.
Red Sox stole 5 bases in the division series. They were 5 for 5. And Betts talking it over with Tom Goodwin. Is it a time to run? Maldonado, one of the great throwing catchers in the game, a Gold Glove Award winner last season as a member of the Angels. So Boston successful 80% this year. Second best mark in the major leagues. Only the Angels had a better one. Betts was 30 for 36. Stays put. Benintendi takes a strike. 1-2 now on Andrew Benintendi. Activity in the bullpen. Josh James is on the right. The left-hander is Tony Sipp. A.J. Hinch told us before the game he would not hesitate to use his closer Roberto Osuna in a 1 or 2 run deficit, which surprised me. Tie game, 1-run deficit,
which is what the opposite of what the Red Sox did not do last night when they brought in Workman.
Instead of Kimbrel with a 1-run lead in the 9th inning, Astros scored 4. But for now, Osuna sits. A ball and 2 strikes. And that's a swing and a miss. Gets away from Maldonado. Betts will end up at second base. So that's a strikeout and a wild pitch.
Well, great heads up by Mookie Betts. That's called a dirt ball read, and he read it because you have to anticipate that McCullers, when he's ahead in the count, will throw that nasty curveball that can bounce on the catcher. Maldonado did a nice job of keeping it in front, but too much speed for Betts as he takes the extra base.
Insurance run at second base for Boston here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Well, McCullers struck out Benintendi last night's ball game. Also overmatched, really, J.D. Martinez in striking him out.
I'm sure there was some anticipation for J.D. Martinez to match up with the Astros in this ALCS. He came up in the Astros organization. He and Altuve were together on the track in the minor leagues. Astros called him up in 2011. And like a lot of other teams, didn't feel that Martinez was a major league player, much less an impact major league player. And was waived. He goes to the Tigers. He changes his swing. You give him a lot of credit for reinventing himself, bucking the trend of the scouting report that was out there on him. Out of Nova Southeastern. That gets away from Maldonado, and Betts on his way to third. Significant because there is only one out. That is a rare blunder by Martin Maldonado.
The way he went after it, I thought he was crossed up, but no discussion between McCullers and Maldonado. Just a miss from Martin.
Could score that as a pass ball. Betts all smiles. 90 feet away now. Brent Strom, the pitching coach, back on the phone to the Astros bullpen. Infield in, and a swing and a miss. Martinez comes up empty. 2-1.
Martinez is trying to shoot that breaking ball the other way. It's just too nasty. Well placed right on that outside corner. That's about the major league average, 54%.
Did he go? He did. Joe West raises the thumb on Martinez. Count 2-2 now. Yeah. Good call.
It's the right call.
And a good smother by Maldonado with a runner at third base. Devastating breaking ball of McCullers, and throws it at various speeds as well. But it does bring in the wild pitch. Houston will be in the middle of their order in the 8th. They've got White, Marwin Gonzalez, Carlos Correa coming up. Right now, down a run. McCullers trying to keep it that way. Full count.
This one he smothered, got down, and made sure he made the play. I don't think there's any secret here. McCullers going to stay with that breaking ball.
Full count and a swing and a foul. Martinez stays alive. Martinez has 6 RBIs in the postseason. 3 of those came with 1 swing of the bat in his first ever Red Sox at bat in the postseason. 3-run home run against the Yankees. Very first inning. Xander Bogaerts due next. And the JD chance come raining down on him. Another 3-2. And he got him a strikeout. Foul tipped it right into the mid of Maldonado for a K. Back-to-back strikeouts for Lance McCullers Jr.
Boy, the execution of the breaking balls to J.D. Martinez the last 2 nights have been impeccable. His ability to keep it away. That one, of course, got past Maldonado. But every breaking ball started on the outside part. It's either in the dirt, trying to get J.D. to chase, or it's been perfect right on the outside corner.
And that one sinking fastball, that running pitch prior to, was the setup pitch, wasn't it? Beautifully done by McCullers. And a big strikeout. Betts still at third base, but now 2 men are out. J.D. Martinez 0 for 4 tonight. Here is Xander Bogaerts, and that's going to skip away. Here comes Betts, and no throw. Betts is in. Six for Boston. Mookie Betts goes all the way around the bases. Walk, wild pitch, and then that one allows him to score.
Boy, we've talked a lot about the defense of Maldonado, but this is probably one of his worst innings of the year.
Got to be a pass ball there. Mookie Betts comes across with a big insurance run for Boston. And that's the end for Lance McCullers Jr. 6-4 Red Sox. 2 outs. And we'll make a change mid-count. The National League back in play tomorrow for Game 3. Brewers Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. That'll be on FS1. Game 3 is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And then Tuesday, we're back at it on TBS, the American League Championship Series between the Red Sox and the Astros. 4:30 Eastern is the postseason pregame show on TBS, presented by the Chrysler Pacifica. TBS is your exclusive home for the 2018 ALCS. And we get our first look of Josh James in the postseason, a September call-up who caught the Astros by storm here in September, and a triple-digit fastball, and he's on the mound, the 25-year-old rookie, and therefore Lance McCullers Jr.
He was on the ALDS roster, warmed up a couple of times, but didn't see any action. So this is his first action in the postseason.
The benefit of winning Game 1 for Houston. A.J. Hinch wanting to get James on the mound, get him acclimated to this postseason environment. He did pitch a game here at Fenway Park. That was his second ever major league outing, September 8th. He went 2 2/3 innings. 1 hit, no runs. He struck out 4. About as impressive of a performance out of the pen as they'd had. 2 pass balls, by the way. They did score the play of Betts going second to third is a pass ball. So a walk, wild pitch, pass ball, Betts goes all the way around to score the insurance run. And he walked him on 4 pitches. That walk will belong to James, even though he picked it up in a 1-0 count. And so a man is on for Steve Pearce.
Josh James is a 34th round pick. Became the lowest drafted pitcher in Astros history to make a start this season.
Never had a fastball like this till last season. There was treatment of sleep apnea that James and the Astros credit to his improvement, not just the improved energy, but then the workouts that can go with it, the strengthening of the arm that can go with having more energy. Got the CPAP machine. Never knew he had sleep apnea. One of his roommates in the minor leagues told him that the snoring was excessive. And what a find that was, because the discovery of that has allowed him to emerge as a hard throwing upper 90s pitcher when he never saw that kind of velocity. It's an amazing story.
Also has great movement on that fastball also.
Started the year in Fresno. He was a starter at AAA with the Astros. Had 6 games in AA Corpus Christi as well. AA to AAA and then to the big leagues. It's a lot on his plate, though. I mean, you go from a September call-up, just getting a chance in the big leagues. Next thing you know, you're on a postseason roster in the ALCS. A.J. Hinch believes in him.
Well, talent plays, they will tell you, in the postseason. Nerves also will play.
There's a strike. A little changeup from James. It's probably comparable to, you know, an Anthony Davis type player in the NBA, a guard who grew into a post player or a power forward. So all the skills of a pitcher who didn't have big velocity, now he has velocity and still has the touch and feel. Bogaerts takes off, and a foul ball by Pearce. Astros will have White, Marwin Gonzalez, and Correa due up. Rick Porcello continues to throw in the Boston bullpen. So it looks like the 8th is his. Now a 2-run lead. Boston looking for more. 2-2 to Pearce. Bogaerts goes again. Pearce fouls another one off.
James likes his changeup. James was the Astros minor league pitcher of the year. His numbers: strikeouts 13.5 every 9 innings pitched.
All of 6 major league games under his belt. And now his first appearance in the postseason. Jam shot roller out to short. Correa will scoop it up, makes the play, and the inning is over. Boston gets a run, 2 pass balls from Maldonado, and it's 6-4 Red Sox. The 2018 American League Championship Series is presented by the Google Assistant, an easier way to get things done with just your voice. Brian Anderson, Ron Darling, Lauren Shahadi, our producer Scott Cockrell, director Matt Lip. Glad you're with us tonight. 2-run Boston lead, and Alex Cora goes to his starting core to come out of the bullpen. Rick Porcello makes his second appearance out of the bullpen this postseason.
It's very similar to game 1 against the Yankees in the ALDS. He came in the 8th inning, got 2 outs. Kimbrel got the last 4.
So instead of Tyler White, as you see Kimbrel starting to get loose now, Tony Kemp will be the pinch hitter. He turns on one down by the pesky pole, and it is just foul. Close call. Tony Kemp gives it a ride and just got out ahead of it. Strike 1.
Boy, just an eyelash. Oh.
Porcello scheduled as the game 3 starter. Certainly that will change now. Nathan Eovaldi, you figure, would go into that spot. That's the rhythm of the Red Sox in the division series. Porcello pitched in game 1 of the division series. There's a called strike. 0-2 the count. Porcello got 2 outs in game 1 against the Yankees of the division series. Kimbrel got the last 4 outs. Wasn't without some drama, though. Here's the 0-2. Look out. Close shave.
Well, he's trying to go up in the strike zone. Got it up and in. Almost a hit by pitch.
Kemp was the DH in game 3 against the Indians in the DS. Fouls that one away. Had a hit in that game. Had a double last night. And a pinch hit roll. It's off to a nice start. He's only played in 3 games, but he has 2 hits. He's walked twice. Part of that DH platoon with Tyler White and Tony Kemp. Here's a 1-2, and he fouls it away. Well, there is a way to the finish line for the Red Sox without having to face Altuve and Bregman, but they've got to be perfect for the last 6 outs. Kemp fights another one off.
A good at bat by Kemp. A valuable piece to have on your bench for A.J. Hinch.
Bregman hoping for another chance. That at bat would most likely be against Kimbrel. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Porcello, and a pop-up foul out of play. That'll head into the seats. And the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Good battle here for Tony Kemp. 7 pitches. Just missed. 2-2 now.
Could have called this. Might have caught the bottom of the strike zone.
Got a little flinch. Goes as a ball. Here's a 2-2 now, and a roller over to the right side. Pierce fires to Porcello in time for the out. Pierce threw him a bullet over there. A lead like this, under normal circumstances, Boston would have Mitch Moreland in the game defensively, a Gold Glove caliber defender, but Moreland has a hamstring issue, and so Pierce stays.
Pierce knew the great speed of Kemp. He wanted to get rid of it. kind of a hot potato play. Couldn't wait to get rid of it. And Porcello's an outstanding athlete and makes the play with 2 hands.
Put in that tough spot. You don't know where to turn your glove over. The basket style catch or straight up right at the belt. Made a nice play. And Kemp is retired. 3-1 on the putout, 1 away for Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez with a 2-run blast with 2 outs in the 3rd inning off David Price. The last runs the Astros have scored. They scored 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, and a swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. This was the blast in the 3rd, right-handed launch.
Price looks like he was trying to go up and in, never got it in enough.
And his first home run of the postseason. And now 7 runs batted in this postseason for Gonzalez. Here's the 0-2. He got him. Porcello with the strikeout. 2 gone.
Just a perfectly executed high fastball above the swing path of Gonzalez.
1 pitch leading to the next. A high curveball for 2 strikes. Threw it right on that same line, and a high fastball gets him to bite. Correa steps out.
Didn't have to give him time. He just kind of jumped out of the box. Carapazza gave him the time.
3 hits against Porcello in his career. And strike 1. Porcello in the division series game coming out of the bullpen looked just like this. He was efficient, quick tempo, and dotting the edge with strikes. Oh, look at that breaking ball. A frisbee.
It's like he's pulling the string.
No balls, 2 strikes. One and 2 to Correa. Astros down a pair, need a base runner, and a foul out of play late on it. Porcello did give up a hit. It was an infield hit, little chopper by Gleyber Torres in that game. Thus Kimbrel came on for the 4-out save.
Remember, Kimbrel in his career, including the postseason, has never had a save of more than 4 outs. He's there now.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Correa launches 1 foul.
Big swing from a hanging curveball by Porcello on the inside corner.
Here's a 1-2. He got him. Rick Porcello. Hey Google, when do the Brewers and Dodgers play next?
On Monday, the Brewers will play the Dodgers in LA at 7:39 p.m. Eastern.
And here at Fenway, it is game 2 of the ALCS. Red Sox, Astros. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. James back on the mound and greeted by Devers. First ball swinging, base hit right center. Rafael Devers on 3 times tonight. 2 hits and a walk. Rick Porcello, 3 up, 3 down, 2 strikeouts. Starter out of the pen for the 3rd time in this postseason for Boston, and it works to perfection for the Red Sox.
I mean, the ability to have a pitcher come in and be able to mix up 3 different pitches, curveball, slider, and fastball, and throw them all for strikes under that kind of pressure. Saw the Astros do that a lot with their starters last year on their ride to the World Series.
Josh James, he's issued a walk, now a hit. Got the final out of the 7th inning. Ian Kinsler, his 4th trip to the plate. He's 0 for 3. And as importantly for the Red Sox, Porcello retires Houston in order in the 8th. So it's Maldonado scheduled to hit. Probably see a pinch hitter to start the inning. Then Josh Reddick, then George Springer. Certainly trying to avoid having to face Altuve or Bregman. And that's going to be Craig Kimbrel, barring a big inning offensively for Boston.
A.J. Hinch told us he would think of using Roberto Osuna 2 runs down, but he sticks with Josh James.
It's almost an identical scenario. It was a 1-run lead yesterday, but I mean, it's different at 4 o'clock in a conversation with television broadcasters on what you would do. It changes the feel of the game. He said he wouldn't hesitate to use Osuna down a run. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't hesitate to use him down 2, and I've told him that. But he has not moved from that spot in the last 2 innings. He does like James. He thinks James is going to be a force in this postseason, giving him a chance to get on the mound right here. There's a change-up upstairs, and Kinsler fouls it away. Hector Rondon was an addition to the LCS roster. He is in the bullpen, was not on the Division Series roster.
He and Joe Smith were the additions.
One ball, 2 strikes. Devers, the runner at first, got a short lead. And it'll stay at 1-2. 99 with the fastball from James. It's like winning the lottery for a pitcher to be able to change your velocity from low 90s to upper 90s. Changed everything for him. Changed the path of his life, possibly. Certainly to this point. 1-2 the count. Missed with the slider. Oh, defensive swing struck him out. Josh James with his first K in a postseason game. And the first out. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Big moment of the game for the Red Sox. Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah, carved off that monster in left field. Great jump by Devers on first base, and he scores 3 runs on that double by Bradley Jr.
Took an unusual bounce, bounced up on the top of the padding down the wall, down the left field line, and wouldn't come down for Marwin Gonzalez, which allowed Devers to score the go-ahead run. Astros had a 2-run lead at that point as Bradley fouls that one back. It was 4-2 Houston. when Bradley delivered that 2-out, 3-run double. Boston adding one in the 7th, scoring a run without benefit of a hit.
A Mookie Betts run.
2 pass balls and a wild pitch after Betts had reached with a walk in the 7th inning.
Only the 2nd walk Houston's allowed in the postseason to lead off an inning. Cost him.
No balls and a strike. Count evens at 1-1. First RBIs of the postseason for Jackie Bradley Jr. and his first hit of the ALCS. Shift is on for Bradley, and a swing and a miss. 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
I haven't really seen a breaking ball by James, but his fastball and changeup combination are lethal.
He's got Bradley in a hole, 1-2. Got him. James strikes him out, goes back to the big fastball. Back-to-back strikeouts. And now 2 gone with a man at first. Rick Porcello retires him in order, and this crowd was up. Long battle there with Tony Kemp. Nice hookup between Pierce and Porcello, and then back-to-back punch-outs.
Well, the execution was impeccable with the fastball up and then the slider away.
Strikeout of Gonzalez and Correa. Alex Cora is going to play a hand on his bench now with Kimbrel getting ready. Mitch Moreland will pinch hit for Vasquez with the lead. Boston will go to their defensive specialist catcher, Sandy Leon. Be very curious to see if Moreland stays in the game. Has not played in the field since he injured his hamstring in Game 2 of the division series. This is his 2nd plate appearance since. He walked with the bases loaded yesterday in his first one back.
He was walked and then pinch run for. I think if he can't start a ball game and he's been sitting for 8 innings, I would keep Pierce in there.
Devers, the runner at first, had a leadoff single. And a big swing and a miss. Another big fastball. It's right down the middle, but it's 99. And Moreland couldn't catch up to it. But James gets through this 8th inning and gives the Astros 4 outs without giving up a run. Not only does it move you down the line, give your team a chance to come back, but imagine what it does for his confidence to get in this postseason. Finally get his feet wet. His first appearance. This is a weapon the Astros have been anxious to use. They just didn't need him in the division series round against Cleveland.
Well, this is one of those appearances that could pay dividends later in the series.
2 balls and a strike. Mitch Moreland, the pinch hitter, and hits it hard. Shift is on. It's through. Base hit. Devers will stop at second. First and second. It's a pinch hit single by Mitch Moreland.
Well, 2 pinch hits for Moreland, a walk, and now a base hit. A bullet got on that fastball.
And as you predicted, Moreland is out. Pinch runner is Sandy Leon. And he says, I hear you chuckling over there. He says, of course, I'm used as a pinch runner. And so Rondon is in. James will exit, leaves 2 runners out there. Hector Rondon on the mound for the Astros when we continue. American League Championship Series is presented by the Google Assistant, an easier way to get things done with just your voice. 6-4 Boston. We play in the bottom of the 8th inning. Red Sox took the lead in the 3rd. They added 1 in the 7th, and now it's going to be Hector Rondon to try to keep this deficit at 2 for the Astros and give them a chance in the 9th.
Well, unlike Josh James, a lot of experience for Hector Rondon, who's pitched the last 3 seasons in the postseason with the Chicago Cubs.
The bullpen numbers for this postseason prior to tonight, and giving up the 6 runs in game 2 of this ALCS. The pitching numbers all across the board, I should say.
Yep.
And Gerrit Cole giving up 5 of those runs. So here we go, 2 on. Devers and Leon on base. Leon pinch running for Mitch Moreland as Mookie Betts takes a ball. By the way, just to close the loop on the replay scenario, Major League Baseball has just released to us that the reason Joe West went to the headsets on that play was a rules clarification. Didn't end up having any effect on the game. They did get the call right, but just to finish that notion. So there is that administrative piece that you can go. Record keeping is how it is officially listed in the reviewable plays. So that was the reason why Joe West went there, according to Major League Baseball.
Boy, this is just like last night's game. Remember the extra run on the home run by Reddick for the Astros, and then a 3-run home run by Gurriel that put it over the top. Looking for a big hit from Betts if you're with the Red Sox.
And a line shot right center. It's down. Devers will score. Leon to 3rd, into 2nd with an RBI double is Mookie Betts. With the chance of MVP raining down on him before that pitch, he delivers another insurance run for Boston. It's 7-4 Red Sox.
Well, this is the game that Betts has been looking for all postseason. Stays inside that baseball, going up the middle the entire time. Devers will score. Sandy Leon, the pinch runner, goes from 1st to 3rd, and a double for the swivel-hipped Mookie Betts.
And another pitching change for the Astros. 2nd and 3rd, 2 men are out. To the 3rd reliever of the inning, left-hander Tony Sipp. A.J. Hinch using this opportunity to get some guys on the mound who have yet to pitch.
Postseason on TBS is brought to you by T-Mobile. Whether you're home or away, T-Mobile has you covered. By Progressive Insurance. Step up to the plate for savings. Visit Progressive.com. By Google Assistant, an easier way to get things done with just your voice. And by Captain Morgan. Live like a captain.
Boston has turned the tide in this game. Mookie Betts scored the 6th run to give him a 2-run lead. He drove in the 7th run. And the Red Sox up 7-4 with Tony Sipp in the game, the left-hander, the lone lefty in A.J. Hinch's bullpen. He pitches with 2 on, 2nd and 3rd, facing Benintendi.
He was also on the roster for the division series and did not appear against Cleveland.
Leon and Betts on the bags. Benintendi takes the first pitch. Mitch Moreland pointing to Sandy Leon. He says, I would have scored there, even with a bad hamstring. Remember, Leon pinch ran for Mitch Moreland. That's got clubhouse fodder all over it for years to come. Leon will stand to catch. It was Moreland's single that helped set this inning up. 3 hits in the inning for Boston.
Got to be bittersweet for Sipp. Last year he was left off the roster for all the rounds in the postseason as the Astros won the World Series, but a part of it this year.
Gets the matchup against Benintendi with J.D. Martinez on deck, and this is Sipp's inning the rest of the way now. Nobody warming in the Astros bullpen. Houston scored 4 in their final at bat last night. Added on late, put it away late with 2 home runs in the 9th inning. Looks pretty warm.
Yes. We saw in the Yankee series Benintendi swing 3-0. Comfortable doing that.
And a high fly ball left field. Springer is there to make the catch in left center. Craig Kimbrel time. The Red Sox closer. 7-4 Boston. Trying to even up this series 1 apiece before we head back to the Lone Star State. Hasn't been a smooth ride for Craig Kimbrel in this postseason. However, he is on the mound in a 7-4 lead, got a 3-run lead with which to work, and he is trying to nail down game 2 for Boston and even up this series. Ronnie.
Yeah, had a tough go of it in the 9th inning in Yankee Stadium as Sandy Leon comes in to do the catching.
Kimbrel has given up 3 earned runs in his 2 1/3, 2 outings. Got a 4-out save in game 1 of the division series. Did give up a home run to Aaron Judge in that one. You see Gaddis, the pinch hitter. Evan Gaddis hitting for Martin Maldonado. Then Reddick. Then to the top of the order, Springer. If anybody gets on, Jose Altuve. And then Bregman behind him. Astros need base runners. Those are the numbers against Craig Kimbrel.
Because of the postseason and the off days, all 3 postseason appearances for Kimbrel have come on 3 or more days rest. The ZRA, 3 or more days rest, is over 6. He's one of those guys that pitches better when he gets more opportunities.
It's another reason we thought we might see him in the 9th inning yesterday with the Red Sox down a run. And those are the numbers you're referring to. 2 days rest or less. A spectacular ERA. Pitch game 1, game 4 of the DS, and here he is in game 2 of the LCS. Has had command problems in his 2 postseason outings. Kimbrel has given up 2 walks in 2 1/3. He does have 4 strikeouts. Three balls and a strike. And a swing out of this. Big fastball at 99 right by Gaddis. It's 3-2 now.
All the pitches outside. This one he center cuts, runs a little bit inside on Gaddis and by him. The matchup of the Beards.
Gaddis wins. Here's a payoff. Popped him up. Ian Kinsler is there for out number 1. Here comes Josh Reddick. Hit a 9th inning home run last night. Stretched the lead to 2 at the time. Part of that 4-run inning. Strike 1. Martin Maldonado having a chat with game 1 starter Verlander, game 3 starter Keuchel. David Price will not qualify for the win, but with 2 more outs, it would be the first time his team wins in his start. Currently 0-10. Didn't pitch great. He pitched good enough and left with the lead. No balls, 2 strikes on Reddick. Got him. 2 outs.
All fastballs by Kimbrel, not messing around. Porcello in the 8th and Kimbrel here in the 9th, able to execute that high fastball when they're ahead in the count.
1 out away. Kimbrel has been one of the elite closers in the game for a while now. He's 30 years of age now. Broke onto the scene at age 22 with the Braves. He's got George Springer, the Astros leadoff hitter. 4 times Kimbrel has led his league in saves. Had a 50 save season with Atlanta in 2013. 7-time All-Star. 42 saves this year. This Boston bullpen has only allowed one base runner. David Price came out. 2 outs in the 5th inning. Matt Barnes got 4 outs. Brazier pitched a scoreless 7th. Porcello a 3-up, 3-down 8th. And a shot past Devers, base hit. Springer with a base hit. And it goes to the wall. Springer on his way to second, in there with a double. It's a 2-out double to extend the game for the Astros. And George Springer with 2 hits tonight, both doubles.
A couple of hits and a couple of RBIs. It's another good night for George Springer.
Houston needing one more base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Trying to get Alex Bregman an at-bat against Kimbrel here in this 9th inning. Bregman is on deck. Altuve 0 for 5 in his career against Kimbrel. 0 for 3 with a walk tonight. And it skips by, gets away from Leon. They asked for an appeal. Joe West says he checked his swing, so it's ball 1. And a wild pitch to get Springer to third base.
Leon just tries to backhand this breaking ball, and
a cross up maybe.
Looks like a cross up to me, reaching up for like he's getting the fastball. And just defensively just tries to block that with the backhand.
First inning behind the plate. He is Boston's best defensive catcher. He put on a clinic blocking balls in game 1 of the division series, did Leon. He's got a runner at third now. A 3-run lead for the Red Sox. And the 1-0 to Altuve is a drive into left field. That's got a chance. It is off the wall. In to score Springer. Altuve will hold at first. It's an RBI single, and it will bring the tying run to the plate. And the last guy Craig Kimbrel wants to face.
Well, good hitting by Altuve, who when he rounded first looked like he might have re-injured his leg. Jumps all over this pitch from Kimbrel. Halfway up the wall, and he was thinking about a double, but when he hit the bag, he slipped on the bag. That's what it was.
With lightning quick hands. Turns out around off the monster.
Nothing's come easy for Kimbrel in the postseason.
With a lot of stress. And he's got the tying run at the plate now. And Bregman, this is the guy the Astros want at the plate right now. Has been their MVP this year. 3 walks tonight. 0 for 1. The 1 out was a pop up into foul territory on the right side. Kimbrel has given up runs in each of his 3 appearances in the postseason. And that's high in the air to left field. Benintendi with his back against the wall makes the catch. The ball game is over, and Boston wipes the brow and hangs on to win game 2. Kimbrel the save. Series all leaving at 1 apiece. What a finish to that one. Alex Bregman just missed it on the bat. And Benintendi secured it for the final out.
Even though he just missed it, you just never know here. The ball by Bradley Jr. earlier, he didn't think it was going to hit the wall. It did.
That's a big win for Boston. After the Astros came in and Won yesterday emphatically. The Red Sox answer back. The first loss of the postseason for the Houston Astros.
Well, you talked about how important this game is, the history of the LCS. Can't lose the first 2 games at home. Red Sox gain a split, and they're on to Houston.
Red Sox get big hits tonight from Jackie Bradley Jr. That 3 RBI double. Mookie Betts scored twice, 2 hits and a walk. And now these fans here at Fenway Park hoping that the Red Sox will bring this series back to Boston as we go for 3 in Houston at Minute Maid Park. And you know they will be revved up and ready for Game 3 on Tuesday night, or Tuesday afternoon, I should say.
Unsung hero in this game, Matt Barnes now got 4 outs in back-to-back games.
Let's send it down to Lauren Shahadi. She's got JBJ with her.
Jackie, no fastballs in your first at bat. You doubled on one in your second. Is that what you were waiting for?
Yeah, just something in the zone, something I could handle, and I was able to get a good barrel on it.
Bullpen taxed heavily. What can you say about the job they did tonight?
They did amazing. They were able to keep a great offensive team, kind of hold them off a little bit, and we were able to score some runs towards the end and, you know, hold them off.
Happy flight to Houston, 1-1. What's the message the rest of the way, Jackie?
Just compete, continue to battle, have some fun.
Congrats, enjoy it.
Appreciate it, thank you.
BA.
The low-key Boston Red Sox against the high-energy Houston Astros. It's going to be a great series. It's all even at 1 apiece. We're headed back to Houston for Game 3. Coming up after this short break, it's a postseason show with Casey and the gang back in our Atlanta studios. For Ron Darling, Lauren Shahadi, and the rest of our crew, led by Scott Cockrell and Matt Lip. I'm Brian Anderson saying so long from Fenway. You've been watching the 2018 ALCS presented by the Google Assistant, an easier way to get things done with just your voice. TBS, your exclusive home of the 2018 American League Championship Series. 7-5, Boston wins. Series tied, 1 apiece.